162 games to the playoffs, 12 more to another World Series championship. That's what the Yankees are hoping as they get ready to open the 2001 campaign in front of another packed house in the Bronx. It's opening day 2001 for the first time since 1995, the first time that Joe Torre's been manager. The Yankees are starting a season at home. Welcome aboard, everyone. I'm Kurt Menefee, along with my partner Tom McDonald. And you come out here, and we've had the last couple of opening days. They've started on the road usually out west and then come home. So this is a little bit different for a lot of the Yankees right now.
And everyone we talk to love it because they haven't had the opportunity to raise the banner on opening day here at the stadium. And we should talk about the weather. 41 degrees, but to me it doesn't feel it's that cold today. How about you?
And the sun's trying to peek out, so maybe we will luck out and have a nice and beautiful day, something we haven't had here for a while in this opening day scenario. Now, you talk about the opening day, of course. We're going to have the player introductions for you and the flag-raising ceremonies and all that. But first, let's take a look at the players and how they feel about the special magic that really happens here at Yankee Stadium, starting with day one.
Tell you, in '97, my last year in Oakland, we were the Yankees home opener, and I remember sitting on the other side there looking over thinking to myself, man, that'd really be cool to put on the pinstripes for an opening day.
Let's welcome home number 8, Yogi Berra, number 8.
Just the whole day is a great celebration, and just makes it that much more special that they're going to raise the flag and we're going to be the defending champions again.
Well, it's awesome. The best part about this year is we've been on the road for 10 days, and you come back for our 11th or 12th game, and then they raise the flag. But to have the flag raised on the first day of the season, you feel like, hey, we're world champs. We accomplished a great thing last year, and it makes you want to really go out and do it again so you can experience the same thing every year.
Special about being there in that stadium with the people that, all the legends they bring out, and just the whole atmosphere of it is special.
I think everybody got the goosebumps. Everybody's a little nervous because the season's going to start, but Yankee Stadium makes it a lot better, a lot more electrifying, a lot more more baseball. It seems like a lot of energy, and the fans love it, so we're going to love it too.
Tommy, opening day special everywhere, but there's something magical about Yankee Stadium.
Oh, it's incredibly magical. I mean, all you have to do is look at all the championship banners flying around here, and the ball players like it because now the games count.
Exactly. First pitch is coming up. We'll continue leading up by warming you up in the bullpen right after we take a quick timeout. Stay with us. Yankee second baseman no more, Chuck Knoblauch, getting ready to make his debut at the debut of the brand new left field here at Yankee Stadium. They've installed plexiglass out there in the left field wall. The wall itself actually goes about halfway up, Tommy, you can see, and they've installed some new seating back there for the disabled, but also you can see the retired numbers, which makes it a special scene.
First time I've ever been able to see that when we were sitting in the dugout, and it's special. And for the folks that have those seats, some of the best seats in the house. Kurt, speaking of left field, the Yankees have transferred guys out to left before, but they've been catchers. I remember when they moved Yogi Berra from behind the plate out to left field. But the thing with Knoblauch is a whole different kettle of fish, isn't it?
Well, this is going to be quite the challenge as Chuck Knoblauch plays one of the tougher left fields in all of baseball, a position change that came about, well, we all actually know why it came about.
Ooh, Lord, trouble so hard. Ooh, Lord, trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God.
here's a Gold Glove second baseman who has had these throwing woes that don't go away in New York.
Trouble so hard, don't nobody know my trouble but God. Don't nobody know my trouble but God.
Chuck Knoblauch's throwing problems weren't getting any better. So with 2 weeks left in spring training, the Yanks came up with an idea sort of out of left field, putting Knoblauch in left field. So there he began working out with Yankee outfielder coach Lee Mazzilli. The thinking was, a bit removed from the pressure, maybe he'd be able to relax. And the outfield isn't foreign to him since he played it as a freshman at Texas A&M University. Well, at least not totally foreign.
Everybody keeps talking about how you played outfield in college, but I mean that was like a decade ago, so long ago. I mean,
that was a long, long time ago. I think it was good to be out there, but it's certainly not at the major league level. And to have some experience, I think will only hurt. It won't, or only help. It won't hurt. But you know, I don't barely even remember that.
But what he did remember was that baseball is baseball, and that he remains a gifted athlete no matter where he plays.
Probably Lamont thinking, hey, that's Knoblauch out there. Let's test him. And the fans love it as Chuck Knoblauch makes a very good and accurate throw from left field for the out.
But Knoblauch's also smart enough to understand that there's more to playing the outfield than just throwing and catching.
Other than catching the ball, I think it's just going to be a process of learning situations and guys on base and actually backing up. Outfielders have a big responsibility in backing up different bases and stuff. So I'll just slowly learn, you know, all those types of things.
Well, you got to know the hitters. You got to know their tendencies. You're going to see the angles of the ball differently coming off the bat in the outfield.
And probably the worst part of it, Kurt, is you're out there for 6, 7 innings. You haven't had a ground ball yet. Right. You know, he could probably have an easy time if every single ball that was hit to him, because at least you know I can take care of this one. And you know, then I'll wait for the next one, which may be 5 or 6 innings later.
That's a little different out there. You know, you're definitely away from most of the action, and you know, that'll be something to get used to. But I don't think that'll be you know, very hard to stay focused on the game, and you know, you need to stay focused because that one ball you might get might be an important ball.
Successfully playing the outfield in spring training is a step in the right direction. But now Knoblauch steps up to the big stage of Yankee Stadium, where the transition continues. So everyone's supporting Chuck Knoblauch as he makes his move out to left field, and one of the things he talked about is really how supportive fans here at Yankee Stadium have been with his throwing troubles then, obviously, at second base. So you've got an old guy trying a new position. The Yankees also picked up an old veteran who's a new guy on this team.
Right. Translated, that means the Yankee pitching staff?
Got a little bit better.
All right, we're on the same language. The shot I was most impressed with when I was at the Yankees spring training camp was when they had picture day and they brought out the 4 starters and posed them all. And I looked at that and I said, wow, can you beat this? There was Clemens, there was El Duque, there was Andy Pettitte, all with World Series rings, and the new guy on the block in Yankee pinstripes who came here because that's what he wants. And we're talking about Mike Mussina.
No, I really haven't had a problem about coming to New York. Everybody assumed that from a small town, and I like Baltimore so much that New York would be such a drastic change that I really wouldn't find it favorable for me. But I think everything about New York is everything I'm looking for this year, and everything we could have wanted in a free agent situation, they provided. They got a great club, stability, success. It's not too far from where I live. And I got a chance to pitch in one of the best rotations out there going.
Anybody got a ball? How about a white one? Oh, come on. I mean, you know, when you have the 3 guys you already have, and then you add a Mussina who could win 20 games every year, to go out every day of the season just about and know every day you have a chance to win with an ace pitcher, it's a great feeling taking the field each day.
He helps a lot of people. He helps, you know, the other guys because he's gonna, you know, be a solid guide, you know, in the mound, and he's, you know, he's one of those guys that help. Smart up here too. He's one of those guys who just comes out there. He's very smart. He knows what he's got to do, and you know, he's a veteran, so he's going to help me a long ways too. So, you know, I can't wait to get the season started and see what he does.
Well, it's another bullet in our gun, so to speak. I mean, we've been fortunate to win the last few years with a great pitching staff, and you add a guy like Mike Mussina, who, you know, is arguably the best pitcher in the free agent class last year, and you add him to this pitching staff, and we're going to be a little bit better.
You know, if we can do our jobs the right way, we'll still be playing in October, and that's really all any of us can ask when we start the season up here in February.
he's a real relaxed guy in the clubhouse. He has fun. You know, he talks to everybody. He's real loose and free. And on the day he pitches, he's pretty much the same. He's not a real intense guy. He's just laid back. He's really composed. He knows how to go out there and what he has to do, and he's been pitching great.
I watched the Yankees growing up, so I really don't have quite the animosity towards the Yankees that a lot of the Baltimore people do. And you know, when we were playing against New York, it was always great series, both in New York and in Baltimore, and they're really exciting. The people really get into it, and now I'm just on the other side, and it's been an easy transition for me. It's been a tough transition for some other people, and hopefully we'll still play some quality baseball. It'll be different for me, you know, coming out of the home clubhouse in New York, and it'll be different for me going back to Baltimore, going to the visiting side instead of the home side. But besides that, baseball is baseball, and we're going to go out there and play hard and try to win every day.
Yeah, Tom McDonald here trying to see if the mic sounds better. They've tried to change the frequencies coming at you.
Back in the Bronx, where the Kansas City Royals are taking batting practice as we are getting ready for opening day 2001. Inside, the fans are just starting to creep in. Outside, well, it's a totally different story. Everybody's hanging out and having a good time, and right in the middle of it, you guessed it, our own Penny Crone. Penny.
Kurt, I have to tell you one thing. This place is wild. It seems like you never left. You know, I woke up this morning. Well, I really didn't wake up because I was awake all night. Now, the mayor has just come in here. As you can see, they're moving all these cars. This is a ritual here. The mayor arrives, and all the fans are moved over. Hi, ladies. How you doing? Come on over real quick. Because, well, thank you. And you're also, I'm sure, Derek, do you?
Yes. Hi, Mom. Yes, Derek Jeter. Welcome, Mike Mussina.
What's the best part of today? Opening day.
No more winter.
No more winter. Well,
another great year for the Yankees,
well,
for sure.
Thanks for coming over. Yeah. You know, when the mayor arrives, you can't get any fans over here. But we did spend a lot of time out talking to the fans and to the players. Here's what's going on. The boys of summer are back, and it seems like it's been a long time since October, when we all know the Yanks took home yet another World Series trophy. Nice outfit.
Thank you.
Did you make this for today, or is this for all the time?
All the time when I'm here.
Every day?
Every game I'm here, yep. Absolutely.
Now, tell me about that hat.
World Series championship trophy. That's what it's supposed to be.
There's no better fans than Yankee fans, and boy, did they ever get here early, just to catch a glimpse of their favorite players. What time did you get here?
5 o'clock in the morning.
5 this morning. What time did you get up?
3.
You couldn't sleep, right?
Right.
And he came with a Mets hat.
I know, that is a little weird.
But I was a Mets fan since...
He was very confused.
Leave out of space.
Clay Bellinger was one of the first players to show. He says he's always early. How come you're here so early?
I'm always here early.
You're psyched, right?
Yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah. First day. What do you, when you think about the first game of the season, what do you think about?
Well, the last couple of years, it's standing out in the line watching them raise the championship banner. And
that's a pretty good thought.
Yeah, it's exciting to be a part of that.
Yeah, folks, it's that time of the year again, a time when spring is in the air, a time when our heroes put on the Ritz, and a time to play ball.
You watch, we'll be here in October. The Yankees are #1.
And you can see the Yankees are #1. Look at all these thousands and thousands of fans out here at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. And the weather, believe it or not, it's warming up. Now, I have another little friend with me right here. What's your name?
Nick Chillo.
Nick, and why are you missing school?
To see the Yankees.
To see the Yankees. Okay, now we're going to throw it back. Who am I throwing it to, Kurt?
Yes,
okay,
you are,
Kurt.
Penny. I'll take it from
See
you.
ya.
Thanks a lot, Penny. Of course, having a good time outside, as you might guess.
We better watch out here. The grounds crew's busy trying to get the field ready.
I think they do have a job to do, I
yeah,
think.
they do. They want to take our spot away here.
Well, the grounds crew trying to make sure that this field gets as good a shape as it possibly can, sort of like the Yankee players. Yeah, they've won 3 straight World Series and 4 out of 5, but you know what? This team continues to believe they have to get better. Do you approach a season as the defending champions?
I think so. I think that, you want to get back to that point because you know how much satisfaction you got by winning, especially with the string like we've put together that, you want to hang on to this thing as long as you can.
No team has won 4 straight World Series titles since the Yankees won 5 straight from 1949 to 1953. In fact, only the Oakland A's even had a chance, having won 3 in a row in the early 70s. That was until now, but how does this team win its 5th in 6 years and 4th in 4? By concentrating on one.
I think this team here, we're more so looking towards the future rather than looking at the past. I mean, obviously we won the last few years, but that has no bearing on this season. We still have to go out on the field and perform.
Once the season starts, everybody's 0-0, and what you did last year or the last 3 years really doesn't matter. So, you know, the thing that's been our strength is we've been able to focus on games day to day and not look ahead and not look behind.
Which is why each year we've gone to Florida for spring training a couple of days before pitchers and catchers are even working out. We've run into a number of position players already there working out. Yeah, amidst all the talk about pitching and run scoring and patience at the plate, maybe the most overlooked quality of this Yankee team during this 5-year run is just how hard they work at not only staying the best, but getting better.
Without a doubt, you have guys on this team that come down to spring training early. I myself live in Tampa. A few guys come down here right after the New Year's, and they're getting ready for the new season. So that's the only way you can continue to improve and continue to win is to never be satisfied.
That's the key, you know, having people that are not just not complacent, not being complacent, and just working hard every day and knowing that winning is just our way to do things, you know, and we just don't rest on our laurels, you know, like they say, and we just, you know, keep working hard every day, day in and day out, and year out.
It is a special team in the sense that we're not content and we're not satisfied with what we've done. You know, if you have 3 rings, you want a 4th. If you have 4, you want a 5th, and so there's always that, you know, striving to achieve more.
And the only way to achieve more is to make sure that whoever's behind you never gets the chance to catch up.
Well, I think as a team, you have to get a little bit better to continue to win. I think that other teams try to strengthen themselves to beat you. Other teams play harder against you because you are the world champion. So I think in order to win 100 games, to win 95 games, to get into the playoffs, I think you have to be a better team.
Well, we got to keep working. You know, everybody's going to come out and get us, and everybody's going to play harder, you know, against us than, you know, than most of the guys, because we are the world champions. We are the New York Yankees. I think that brings a lot of respect, and, you know, the other teams know who they're playing against. So we got a very good team, so they got to bust, you know, their butt, and we're going to bust our butt to continue the tradition and continue the world championship.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jack.
Filing in, getting ready to watch the Yankees raise their 27th World Championship banner. Yankees hoping to rake up a victory on this opening day in the 2001 season. I'm Kurt Menefee along with Tom McDonald, and as the fans see it live here, you will see it live right here on Fox 5, the entire ceremony, including the player introductions as well.
You know, a lot of the fans came here early, and of course the ball players always like to get to the park early on opening day to do whatever it is they have to do, and the last guy to arrive is usually the starting pitcher. When I got here at 11 today, who was right behind me but the Rocket, dressed up in a suit and tie at 11 o'clock for his honor of pitching on opening day.
Well, he got to do the opener last year, but it was on the road. This year, Roger Clemens gets the honor of getting the opening day start on a true opening day here at Yankee Stadium.
It'll be very exciting for me. You know, anytime you get an opportunity to start opening day, and you know, we have 3 other starters that are definitely capable of doing it. It's an honor.
This is part of his ritual. It was when he came in as a visiting pitcher. Just a little bonding with the babe before he takes the mound.
Well, that's just what it is. I mean, there's just a tremendous amount of history, and you can always bring back so many great players from the past, and to meet and greet those guys and their families, and you know, there's always something going on special on opening day around the stadium.
And a lot of those guys will be back for opening day. Phil Rizzuto, Yogi Berra, Dave Winfield, who's going into the Hall of Fame, and Doc Gooden, all going to take part in the pregame ceremonies. We mentioned all these names from the past. It's a name from the current, if you will. Let me use a little bit better grammar. That is really happy to be here, and a lot of people are really happy to see on this opening day.
And he's a guy that coaches Roger Clemens and coaches the entire Yankee pitching staff. And I don't think you can get a higher honor from the Yankees than to throw out the first ball on opening day. And this year, the honor goes to a guy who's battled back from cancer and as the pitching staff's best friend, and we're talking about Mel Stottlemyre.
One of the classiest men in the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Mel Stottlemyre.
Some of the pictures that I had during that period, you know, kind of scared me a little bit. I couldn't believe that it was me.
It brought tears to my eyes to see that, because Mel, from '84 on, he was like my father away from home. You know, he's been there for me on and off the field. And when you hear something like that, it's like your father, you know, getting sick.
The worst thing I think it can happen when people become afflicted with a certain type of cancer is they just throw in the towel. Well, I'm not going to throw in the towel.
Knowing Mel's an individual, you know, if there's any chance of him beating it, he's the guy to get through it.
You have put it behind you for now.
I just decided that I wasn't going to let it get the best of me, and I was going to battle it and see what happened. And, you know, my battle so far has been real good. My treatment was real successful.
To see him now healthy, running around, you know, looking good, smiling, is a tremendous feeling.
Stottlemyre's all about pitching. When he returned to the Yanks this spring, Mel felt like he was back home with his guys who helped him get through some tough days last year.
There was days when I was down a little bit or whatever, and they, you know, done things to either try to lift me or didn't expect too much from me that day. But, you know, they've been absolutely fantastic. You know, not only my pitchers, but all my teammates on the team, as well as the coaches. And Joe Torre's been super. I'm enjoying life right now. I feel real good. I take things a day at a time now. So, you know, my life has changed a little bit, but not drastically.
You know, Mel was reluctant to say it, but he felt that the pitching staff that he has this year is the best that he's ever had as a pitching coach, and he's had some real good ones.
You really look at the '86 Mets team that he had back there.
That was outstanding.
David Cohn, Sid Fernandez, Dwight Gooden.
Hey, I'm looking out in the outfield here, and I see the Brian McMahon marching band from the town where I live right now, from Norwalk, is going to play, and I know it's got to be an honor for those kids to have center stage at Yankee Stadium.
Hey, nothing but honors being thrown out here on opening day, and we've got much more. We're about 10 minutes away from flag-raising, player introductions, and all the pomp and circumstance that encompasses opening day. We'll be back with more from the Bronx. Stay with us. The Yankees have been the masters of the baseball domain for the last couple of years, winning the World Series yet again last year, number 27 in this franchise's history. And they're going to raise the banner here in just a couple of minutes.
That's going to be exciting, too. You know, as many times as we've seen it, sometimes you get spoiled with success, but I think that's a scene that I never get tired of seeing, is the banner being raised up. There's just something about it, you know?
I tell you, the players and the fans and everyone, of course, feels exactly the same way. Well, you take a look at this team, and they've won 4 out of the last 5 World Series and 3 in a row. It's been quite a run. No team since the Yankees in 49 to 53 has won 4 consecutive World Series, but we might be watching the end of this great run by this Yankee team, because a lot of guys are in the final year of their contracts, namely big stars like Paul O'Neill, Tino Martinez, and Scott Brocious.
Into center field, well hit. Finley back at the track, at the wall. A 3-run home run for Scott Brocious. Runner up easy to bat into deep right. O'Neill makes the catch to end the inning. Martinez down the right field line. Grand slam.
With this being the last year of your contract, I mean, you think opening day you'll be thinking, wow, this could be the last one?
No, not really. I'll enjoy it. I enjoy every opening day, and you know, Old Timers Day and stuff like that, whatever comes about throughout the year. I really enjoy it, but I never think this could be my last one.
Well, you know, you can't help but have it go through your head a little bit. I mean, we have a number of guys that, you know, are in the last year of their contracts, but is it something that we dwell on? I don't think so.
Well, I mean, everybody. It could be everybody's last opening day. You never know that. So it's, you know, your first and your last, you might remember a little bit more than the others, but, you know, opening day, when it's over with, you're almost relieved.
That'll bring in Paul O'Neill, not healthy, bothered by a sore right hip. A couple of cortisone injections late in the year to try to relieve some of the pain and pressure, but not running well, not hitting the ball with really much authority or much pop.
I know that you talked about how tired you are of the retirement thing. Did you make the decision and you wish you hadn't said it because everybody's talking about it,
right,
or you didn't make the decision and people kind of ran with? That's what I'm just trying to figure out.
I mean, it has nothing to do with we're talking about opening day, and it has nothing to do with how I'm going to go out and play opening day. I mean, you still go out to play hard every day to win, hopefully win another world championship, and then when it's over, you can talk about your plans. Right now, it doesn't affect anything I did over this winter. I mean, I work out the same. I'm preparing for this year the same, so it just has nothing to do with what I'm going to be doing on the field right now.
I mean, you just, go out and prepare to play the season, and if we have a winning season, those type of things will take care of itself. But it can't help but enter the back of your mind that it might be it.
If it is at the end of the year and, I signed somewhere else, the Yankees don't sign me back, then you just start realizing what's happening.
The New York Yankees, for the third time in a row, fourth time in 5 years, and 26th time in franchise history, they are the world champions.
A lot of guys that were part of this run that may not be here next year, that this could be the last roundup.
It could be, but, that's not our focus going into the season. Going into the season, every year we've won the World Series, it seems like, so we want to win the World Series again this year. And although it may be the last for quite a few of us, our goal is still the same: go out and win the World Series. And if it's our last together, then we want to go out winners.
Minutes away from the start of the opening day ceremonies here at Yankee Stadium, another banner raising going on in the Bronx.
I can feel the buzz.
You can feel it, and right now you can hear the legendary Bob Shepard takes over.
Attention now to the Diamond Vision screen in right center field. And let's take a look back at the 2000 Yankees and their Subway Series victory that began a new century of winning tradition.
And the 3-1. Swung on a drill deep to right field. There it goes. See ya! Into the upper deck. David Justice with a 3-run home run. And the Yankees have come all the way back. They lead 6-4. Get your tokens ready. You might be boarding the subway.
And tonight, the Yankees try to make it 4 world championships in 5 years. But this is the most electric atmosphere we'll ever have.
The heart is a balloon, shoots up to the stony ground. There's no room, no space to rent in this town. You're out of luck, and the reason that you had to care, the traffic is stuck, and you're not moving anywhere. You thought you found a friend.
He is out of the place.
Someone you can lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day. Your love is down. Even if that doesn't ring true, you've been all over, and it's been all over you. It's a beautiful day. So let it get away. It's a beautiful day.
So Derek Jeter moves into the leadoff spot.
See the world in It's clearing the sea out. See the bedroom fires at night. See the oil fields at first light. And see the bird with a leaf in her mouth. After the flood, all the colors came out. It was a beautiful day.
O'Neal charging, dives, makes a catch. They're one win away. Three outs away from winning the World Series. And the 0-1 swung on, hit in the air to deep center. Bernie back, away back. He's there. He makes the catch. Ball game over. World Series over. Yankees win. The Yankees win. Starting the new millennium, the New York Yankees are once again world champions.
Okay, Mr. Shep, go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we will continue the celebration of our 26th title with the raising of our championship flag. This event marks another milestone in the Yankees' history and is a tribute not only to our 26th championship, but to the 25 that have preceded it. Please direct your attention now
I can
to the
barely hear
area
you.
behind home plate.
I don't understand what you said.
As we welcome several legends who have helped make the Yankees the most storied franchise in the history of professional sports. He was a member of the 1996 and 2000 championship teams. A Cy Young Award winner, he pitched a no-hitter on this field in 1996. Ladies and gentlemen, the Doc, Dwight Gooden. Voted the all-time Yankees shortstop and Hall of Famer, the Scooter, Phil Rizzuto. Ten-time world champion and Hall of Famer, Yogi Berra. Yankee great and 2001 Hall of Fame inductee, Dave Winfield. Ladies and gentlemen, as they begin the ceremonial golf cart ride to Monument Park to raise the championship flag, now let's welcome the visiting team. Please direct your attention to the infield and welcome the Kansas City Royals. The head trainer, Nick Schwartz.
All right, well, the Kansas City Royals have been introduced. We're going to have all the player introductions from both teams. But how about a quick step up to the booth? The guys who will be calling the game for us here when it starts at 1 o'clock, Tim McCarver and Bobby Mercer.
Thanks, Kurt. What about the Yankees? I mean, they won 3 consecutive World Series championships. Definitely, there's no question about who is the best team in New York now as they beat the New York Mets last year. And you would think this Yankee ball club, you would think that maybe they would set on their laurels. They didn't do that. They went out and got the top right-handed pitcher in baseball, Mike Messina, to add to this staff.
I think Mike is one of the key free agent acquisitions that not only the Yankees, but any team has had over the last 10 or 15 years. Are there going to be problems? Of course. I think the Yankees have some problems early. Will Chuck Knoblauch fare well in left field? Will Alfonso Soriano play well at second base defensively? Can Tino Martinez and Scott Brosius bounce back and be the hitters they were year before last instead of last year? Problems, but a lot of teams would love to have the problems the Yankees have.
Especially when you have that starting pitching staff that the Yankees have with Clemens, Pettit, El Duque, now Mike Messina, and they've added Christian Parker, the new young rookie right-hander.
The one guy they will miss is Jeff Nelson in the bullpen, but once Ramiro Mendoza gets ready and shows up around the 10th or the 11th of April, they're going to be as strong as they were last year.
Of course, Derek Jeter still on the disabled list. He's expected back at Yankee Stadium this weekend. Now we're going to send it back down to Kurt Menefee.
Hey, Kurt, you know, listening to the guys up in the booth, I'm thinking the Royals are being introduced here, and absolutely nobody is paying attention. There can't be a more lonelier time for them than now.
But the problem is that's really, don't want to get into the economics of baseball, but how it is right now, the Kansas City Royals are totally ignored while the Yankees and teams like that get all the pomp and circumstance. But, of course, the Yankees so deserving of the pomp and circumstance on this, the opening day of the 2001 regular season for the Yankees, and the player introductions for the Yankees. We will have all those, and everybody will certainly pay attention to that.
Yeah, the cart that's carrying Winfield, Gooden, Yogi Berra, and Rizzuto just passed us by, and they're going to raise the banner up, and that's when this place is really going to rock.
Well, what's going to be interesting is you've seen Yogi and you've seen Rizzuto do it so many times. First time for Dwight Gooden, who just retired from baseball this week, and Dave Winfield, who's going into the Hall of Fame as well, first-timer.
And speaking of Winfield, there had been some question about which uniform he's going to wear when he goes into the Hall. Well, I think the fact that he's going out there to raise the banner answers that question, doesn't it?
I think this may answer the question as to whether or not he's going to go in as a Yankee or a Padre or a Twin or whatever. So the Royals starters are being announced right now, so I think people might want to hear who those guys are.
Yes,
Why don't we check that out?
Let's hear it.
Joe Randa. In left field, number 14, Mark Quinn. The designated hitter, number 27, D. Brown. Warming up in the bullpen, the catcher, number 22, Hector Ortiz. At shortstop, number 1, Ray Sanchez. And warming up in the bullpen, the pitcher, number 37, Jeff Suppan.
I got a feeling the silence is about to be broken.
Oh, it's going to be broken big time because I see the golf carts arrived out in the monument.
2001 New York Yankees. The head trainer, Gene Monahan. Assistant trainer, Steve Donahue. Strength and conditioning coach, Jeff Mangold. In the bullpen, assistant strength and conditioning coach, Brian McNamee. And the coaches in the bullpen, number 40, Tony Cloninger. Batting coach, number 52, Gary Denbo. First base and outfield coach, number 54, Lee Mazzilli. Third base coach, number 30, Willie Randolph. Pitching coach in the bullpen, Mel Stottlemyre. Bench coach, number 53, Don Zimmer. And the non-starters. Number 12, Clay Bellinger. Number 13, Michael Coleman. Number 14, Joe Oliver. Number 29, Mike Stanton. Number 35, Mike Mussina. Number 38, Randy Choate. Number 39, D'Angelo Jimenez. Number 41, Brian Boringer. Number 42, Mariano Rivera. Number 43, Christian Parker. Number 46, Andy Pettit. Number 48, Scott Seabold. Number 56, Todd Williams. And number 57, Carlos Almanza. And now the starting lineup. Let's begin with the manager, number 6, Joe Torre. In left field, number 11, Chuck Knoblauch. Number 11. At second base, number 33, Alfonso Soriano. Number 33. In right field, number 21, Paul O'Neill. Number 21. In center field, number 51, Bernie Williams, number 51. The designated hitter, number 28, David Justice, number 28. At first base, number 24, Tino Martinez, number 24. In the bullpen, the catcher, number 20, Jorge Posada, number 20. At shortstop, number 19, Luis Sojo, number 19. At third base, number 18, Scott Brocious, number 18. And warming up in the bullpen, the pitcher, number 22, Roger Clemens, number 22. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to Monument Park or to the Diamond Vision screen in right center field. On October 26, 2000, the New York Yankees won their 26th World Series championship, their third in a row and fourth in 5 years. The Yankees defeated the New York Mets and won the first Subway Series in 44 years. The flag we are about to raise is a symbol of courage, conviction, and everlasting truth. The 2000 New York Yankees team is simply the best.
You're simply the best. Better than all the rest. Better than anyone. Anyone I've ever met.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2000 World Champion New York Yankees.
So in the year 2000, 99, 98, and 96, the Yankees were simply the best. Today, they will try and begin another title defense with a victory taking on the Kansas City Royals, they hope.
What an incredible feeling when they raised that flag up. Even the players loved it.
All right, back with the first pitch. Tim McCarver and Bobby Mercer have it right here on Fox 5. We'll catch you tonight on the 10 o'clock news with a complete wrap-up.
Goodbye, everybody.
At second base, Gary Cedarstrom, and at third base, Mike Hudson.
This is a special presentation of New York Yankee baseball on Fox 5.
What a beautiful day it is for baseball. It is buzzing around the Bronx. 26th World Championship team is on the field here at Yankee Stadium to begin their 2001 quest for 4 in a row. What a beautiful stadium it is. Lots of history, lots of banners out to commemorate last year's World Championship.
Second base.
Hello, everybody. I'm Bobby Mercer along with Tim McCarver. Welcome to New York Yankees baseball here on Fox 5. We're so glad that you're with us. We're going to have 50, we hope 50 wonderful games here. Now we're going to go down on the field and Bob Shepard and our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. At the end of America the Beautiful, please be sure to direct your attention to the area underneath the matrix board in center field, where an American eagle named Challenger, USA's living symbol of freedom, will soar into the Yankee Stadium and land in front of the pitcher's mound. Challenger is a 13-year-old non-releasable eagle that can no longer survive in the wild and is cared for by the National Foundation to protect America's eagles. Now please direct your attention to the microphone behind home plate. Yankee Stadium veteran performer and fan favorite Robert Merrill will now sing America the Beautiful.
Join me. Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Once more, everybody. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
Welcome back to Yankee Stadium. That's Mel Stottlemyre making his way to the pitcher's mound. He will throw out the ceremonial first pitch to start the season, and Joe Torre, the skipper of this ball club, will do the catching. Tell you what, it just brings tears to your eyes. I mean, it's joyous tears, because last year Mel was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, which is cancer of the plasma, and Joe himself has battled cancer the last couple of years. And to see Mel look as well as he has, and to be back in pinstripes for this 2001 season, what an inspiration it is for not only the Mel Stottlemyre family, but also for this Yankee ball club and the Yankee fans.
It's a beautiful sight, huh?
Big handshake from the Rocket, who is mesmerized by his pitching coach, and what a great guy.
From goosebumps to reality.
So well deserving. Well, let's look at the Kansas City Royals starting lineup, brought to you by McDonald's. And it's a pretty good offensive lineup. Second base, Carlos Fablis. He'll be followed by center fielder Carlos Beltran. Mike Sweeney at first base. What a hitter he is. Jermaine Dye in right field. Joe Randa at third base, better known as the Joker over there. Mark Quinn in left field. The designated hitter, a rookie, D. Brown. The catcher, Hector Ortiz. And a shortstop, Ray Sanchez.
The Yankee defense brought to you by Lincoln Mercury. Chuck Knoblauch, Bernie Williams, Paul O'Neill in the outfield, Scott Brocious, Luis Sojo with Jeter on the DL, Alfonso Soriano at second base, Tino Martinez at first, Jorge Posada behind the plate, and Roger Clemens. It's the 11th opening day start, and obviously we had a chance to talk to Chuck Knoblauch about his switch from second to left field.
It's a work in progress, and just do the best I can, really. But I don't think it's, I mean, it's not like I'm the first guy to ever change positions, so I think that needs to be let go, you know. So change of positions, that's just creating a new opportunity for me, and that's all.
No big deal for Chuck Knoblauch, and I don't think he knows that Bobby Mercer, along with Tim McCarver, every day is a work in progress for you and I here at the broadcast booth.
Well, I think with Chuck and with Soriano, obviously two key positions. Yankee Stadium's left field is bigger than most left fields, more spacious. And the one thing that Chuck and Soriano have to start out doing is doing the routine things well and not try to do too much.
Much easier to move from the infield to the outfield than having somebody to move from the outfield to the infield. So work in progress at second base, work in progress in left field. There are many changes in this Yankee on this Yankee ball club. We'll talk more about that, and most of them come in the bullpen. But right now we're about ready for the first pitch for the 2001 season. Roger Clemens making his 11th opening day start, and this is Carlos Fablis, the second base, sitting off for Kansas City. Fastball in there for a call strike. Fablis's numbers last year. Now Clemens with Fablis behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes.
Roger Clemens with 260 career wins. That ties him for 34th place with Ted Lyons. He has his best record for his career against the Kansas City Royals, a 1.99 earned run average, and as Bobby and I mentioned, his 11th opening day start.
missing on the outside corner. That becomes significant because Roger Clemens today needs 5 strikeouts as Stottlemyre looks on. He's 5 strikeouts shy of passing Walter Johnson, better known as Big Train, as the all-time American League leader. All-time. Easy play for Clemens, and he will throw out Fable, saying 1 gone for Kansas City here in the top of the first. Boy, Clemens, after the second half last year, he had turned that season around, and he became the type of pitcher that the Yankees thought that they were getting when they got the 5-time Cy Young Award winner. I mean, he was dominant, just totally dominant, and he was healthy.
Pitcher of the month for the month of July last year. His 12th time that he has won the Pitcher of the Month award.
Carlos Beltran takes a pitch on the inside corner for a call strike. Another new member, Mike Mussina, signed as a free agent, got a big hand when they introduced him today, so he could be starting anywhere. But here get the Kansas City Royals. Little pop-up, shallow center field. Going back is Luis Sojo. He falls down. One play that Derek Jeter, who is on the disabled list, expected back at Yankee Stadium this weekend, normally makes. And just out of the reach of Sojo.
The outfield turf is wet here at Yankee Stadium. It was raining yesterday, of course, in the New York area. And after Luis missed that little pop-up, sliding, but Beltran holds at first base with the first hit of the ball game.
Well, they're hoping Kansas City does that Beltran reverts back to that '99 season when he won the American League Rookie of the Year award. Dangerous hitter here, and Mike Sweeney swinging and fouling the first pitch back and out of play. A quiet superstar playing for Kansas City. Took the numbers out for Sweeney last year. For those 144 RBIs, he has set almost all-time highs in all of the personal offensive categories for Sweeney. Lou Piniella told me the guy that he fears the most in the American League is Mike Sweeney.
Well, you know why, don't you? Because he doesn't strike out a lot. He struck out only 67 times last year. As far as his ratio, that was the 3rd lowest in the American League. So a power hitter with a short stroke, very unusual.
Beltran taking off, and the throw by Posada is wide. Stolen base, number 1 for Beltran this year.
Carlos stole 13 bases last year. He was not caught stealing. Posada with a tough pitch to handle, but Beltran with that jump. Look at the jump he had off Roger Clemens. No way that Posada makes the play.
Brand new camera angle for us here on Fox 5 that you saw that throw from Posada down to second base. And that pitch down low for a ball. The count will go to 2-1. There it is, right up above the backstop here at Yankee Stadium. Something that has been added for this 2001 season. We didn't have it last year, so we should get some pretty good shots from it right behind home plate. 2 balls and a strike, a man out, man on for Kansas City. Up high for ball 3. Now it's 3-1. We talked about Sweeney's numbers. Last year, he became the first American League player to hit at least .330 with 200 hits and 140 RBIs since Cleveland's Al Rosen back in 1953. Look for this guy to win a batting title maybe someday, very soon. That pitch just missing down low and outside, ball 4.
You know what, Bobby? In microcosm, we have gotten what the umpires. That ball was very, very close to being a strike. Was it outside? Just barely. Remember, under the new guidelines given to Major League umpires, they're going to call higher pitches this year from the belt to the bottom of the letters. And they're not going to be as liberal in calling outside corner pitches. And true to form, home plate umpire Tim Welke has done about that so far. He's called 2 high fastballs and for strikes, and he's called 2 pitches on the corner outside from Clemens.
Well, we'll see what that adjustment takes us and where it takes us here in the year 2001. Strike 1 to Jermaine Dye. Big numbers for him last year also. Only 27 years old. He has really come into his own. You got Beltran, Sweeney, Dye, and Randa batting back-to-back-to-back. This ball club, good offensive ball club. Tony Muser in his 4th year for Kansas City as their skipper. They're expecting big improvements out of this ball club this year. They won 77 games and lost 85 in the year 2000. It's down low, looks like a split finger. Now it's 2 balls and a strike, but they got enough offense. They just need to shore up their bullpen, and they've tried to do that with a big trade this year. And so with Roberto Hernandez and Doug Henry and crew down in the bullpen, they're expecting to cut some of those blown saves that they've had here in the last couple of years in half.
Tony Muser, there's Roberto Hernandez about in the center of your screen, but Tony Muser telling us before the game that they should be better in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings this year. They have blown 58 saves over the last 2 years, the most, or 56, I should say, the most in the majors.
And fewest saves in the American League, 3 out of the last 4 years. Hit high in the air to right field. Beltran will tag up at second. Halfway at first is Sweeney. And Beltran will move into third base with 2 men out. So Kansas City now with runners at first and third. And 2 gone. That'll bring up Joe Randa, the third baseman. I mean, they've got a, when you take a look at this lineup, I mean, every year they seem to get better and better. And if Beltran can revert back, he had a bad year last year. It had some injuries and then had some suspension problems and got into a little bit of trouble, a little squabble with his manager. But get him back on track again to that 99 form with Fabulous leading off, and Sweeney and Dye and Randa and Mark Quinn, who have come into his own. They got a heck of an offense. Got a rookie as the designated hitter starting today. D. Brown, who is batting behind Mark Quinn.
That was another outside corner pitch that Clemens complained about. That's the 3rd one in this inning. And Bobby, we were talking about it on the way to the ballpark today. I don't think you or I'm not speaking for you, but hearing you talk about it today, I don't think either of us expected a radical change immediately. Kind of like golf. You know, when you learn something new, change it just a little bit. Was this pitch a strike on the corner? Man, front piece might have been a little low.
He may have called it low. It looked like it had the front piece of the plate, as you were talking about. When you set that far inside, I think you more or less have to guess on that outside pitch because you have an angle that you're looking at. But the thing that they're going to be looking at this year is that high strike being called a little bit more. That should favor Roger Clemens if he can play into that. And if they do revert back to that high strike call, we'll just see what happens as the year progresses. That on the outside corner, not too low. So it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count now to Randa.
This was a slider. You can see Posada sitting outside and a little bender for a strike right there. Bender either being a curveball or a slider, and that slider did catch the corner.
Outside and low. You were talking last time that we were on about Roger Clemens and that domination that he reverted back to. Well, one of the things that helped him so much was he was pitching in front of the hitters more than he was pitching behind. So
no question,
he was really able to work on them. For a guy that has a lot of power, he has a lot of control too, and he showed it at the second half. Split finger down low. That runs the count to ball 3 at 2 strikes. So the first baseman Sweeney will be off for this pitch. No score with 2 men out, and Kansas City threatening here at the top of the first. Torrey not worried about the Yankees spring training record. They only won 9 games and lost 20. Now is when it counts. Runner takes off, swing and a miss, strike 3. Clemens with a perfect pitch to strike out Randa with 2 men on. No score for the Kansas City Royals. Top of the first. Yankees coming up. New York Yankees baseball on Fox 5 is brought to you in part by General Motors. By Continental, being on time should be a perk. Continental Airlines, work hard and fly right. By Amstel Lights, the beer drinkers like beer. And by Hyundai, the freedom of America's best warranty, the Hyundai Advantage is standard equipment. Jeff Suppan waiting to throw his first pitch of the year 2001, and Chuck Knoblauch will lead it off for the Yankees. Knoblauch got a huge hand as he was introduced before today's ball game. Numbers for Knoblauch last year. Knoblauch, yeah, good luck, Chuck. And I think Chuck has got a new lease on life. Talking to Chuck, seeing how he's moving around the clubhouse, it looked like there's been a big burden lifted off of his shoulder going out the left field. And the first pitch in there for a call strike.
Understandably so, too, Bobby. Wearing on his mind and that of Joe Torre's the last couple of years, since the throwing problems from second base were so evident. And I doubt that we'll ever see Chuck Knoblauch at second again. Never say never, but I think you could pretty conclusively say that with Chuck.
Well, it got so bad last year, Joe couldn't even play him in the playoffs or the World Series. And you know how serious that is when you got a Gold Glove second baseman. You need him in the lineup as the leadoff guy because he sets his lineup so well offensively. Inside for a ball 1 and 2, but Joe has found a place for him now in left field, and Chuck seems to really want to improve and learn and be in that lineup every day now in left field.
So Chuck Knoblauch doesn't start at second base in any of the World Series games. And what happens? Vizcaíno and Soto get 2 game-winning hits.
Well, what's new for Luis Sojo anyway? Well, the lineup for the New York Yankees brought to you by McDonald's. You saw Knoblauch striking out. Alfonso Soriano, we've heard so much about him, coming up now. Paul O'Neill, Bernie Williams, David Justice, Tino Martinez, Jorge Posada, Luis Sojo, and Scott Brocious. A lot of familiar names to this lineup. So Soriano, who had the best spring for the Yankees. We saw and told you about the Yankees win-loss record there. We have heard so much about this young man. We got a brief look at him last year. He came up as a shortstop. No go there. You know why? Because of Derek Jeter. They played him at third base for a while. Then in the outfield. It's a ground ball to Sanchez at short, and he will throw out Soriano. And now Soriano gets his shot at the #1 second baseman.
Bobby, you mentioned the lineup. We'll take a look at our Lincoln Mercury defense for Kansas City. Quinn, that's Mark Quinn, Beltran and Dye in the outfield, Randa, Sanchez, Carlos Fabulous at second, Mike Sweeney, Hector Ortiz behind the plate. You mentioned Jeff Suppan. Actually, the battery for the Kansas City Royals when they started spring training was supposed to be opening day. Jose Rosado on the mound and Jeff Zahn behind the plate. Greg Zahn, I beg your pardon. Greg Zahn has a pulled calf muscle. He'll be out for about 6 weeks. And Jose Rosado still nursing a sore left shoulder.
Paul O'Neill, RBI 100. His 4th consecutive year in a row for the Yankees, knocking in 100 or more. A lot of speculation that O'Neill may retire after last season. The grounder, the shortstop Sanchez, he is about as sure-handed as there is at shortstop. So Kansas City puts the Yankees down. We've played one here at Yankee Stadium. 26th world champion flag being raised here at the stadium, along with Challenger flying in. Well, back here at the stadium, you know, it's exciting opening day, but can you imagine Seinfeld premieres tonight on Fox 5? You think that's not exciting, Tim?
I'd say it's exciting, Bobby.
Well, let me just tell you, at 11 o'clock tonight, the Ultimate New York show is hitting the Ultimate New York station.
What is this,
Fox
a routine?
5. Well, yes. I mean, you know, this is like Abbott and Costello, you know.
Okay, Bob.
Anyway, Seinfeld premieres tonight here on Fox 5.
Did you see Jerry on Letterman the other night?
I did not.
Talking about his child, he said, David, keep this in mind. They're here to replace us.
Ooh, I wish you had brought that up. Top of the second inning, the Kansas City Royals will bring up Mark Quinn, D. Brown, and Hector Ortiz. Big numbers for Mark Quinn. We talked about it. You know, Johnny Damon no longer with this ball club. They traded him away. They felt like that he couldn't sign him. So Damon now ends up in Oakland. And the Royals numbers last year in the American League. You can see we talked about their offense. They've got the offense. They just need to shore up that bullpen. And this kid here put up big numbers and was third in the American League Rookie of the Year voting. Those 20 home runs and 78 RBIs. Hit into right field, and O'Neill is there with that one-handed grab, so one gone here in the top of the second.
That 1-1 pitch is interesting on the way to getting the out. You will notice that Posada is sitting inside to the right-handed batter, Mark Quinn. That's a slider. Almost every pitcher, right-hander to a right-hander, when a catcher calls for a slider, the catcher will sit outside for the target. But Clemens, by design, and Mariano Rivera does it too, by design, they throw inside sliders. The only other pitcher in baseball that I knew that did that over the last 5 years was Michael Jackson, the right-handed reliever with Cleveland, Philadelphia, Houston now.
Well, the one thing Roger Clemens will do, especially if you're a rookie hitter, he'll come right at you. This is D. Brown, the designated hitter. He was the first-round pick for Kansas City back in 1996, so with Johnny Damon gone, they're looking for some new spark out of this organization, and they're looking to D. Brown to do something about it. Swing and a miss at a high, like breaking ball.
Slider by design again on the right side of the plate. Posada sits outside. That is a pitch that a young hitter like D. Brown very unfamiliar with.
Popped him up left side. Could be an easy play for Brocious, and there's two gone. D. Brown born here in the Bronx, so it must be an exciting day for this young man. Fox 5 and the Toyota dealers are proud to present World Championship New York Yankee Baseball, now available on the SAP channel of your television. Please don't miss it. Roberto Clemente Jr., Beto Villa, and Armando Talavera over there announcing on the SAP channel. Hey, I think Clemente, he was in Puerto Rico yesterday, witnessing the opening day of the 2001 season between the Blue Jays and the Texas Rangers.
His mother, Vera, throwing out the first pitch along with the Hall of Famer Orlando Cepeda.
Toronto winning that ball game 8-1 over Texas. Easy grounder, first play for Soriano. And a nice play it was. So the Yankees set the Rangers, or set the Kansas City Royals down, but behind the Rocket. 1-2-3. No score. Well, no score here at the stadium. Bottom of the second. Yankees coming up. Let's take a look at the Campbell scouting report. And keys of the season, as far as I'm concerned, is health up the middle. And I'm talking about some key guys. Posada behind home plate. Jeter at shortstop. He's on the disabled list right now. Be here this weekend. And, of course, Bernie Williams. And everybody knows if you don't have depth in your pitching, you're going to get hurt. The Yankees need help with pitching, and especially Andy Pettitte and Mariano Rivera. They could not do without Mariano.
We talked about Chuck Knoblauch in left field and Alfonso Soriano at second base. Two keys to the early season. And obviously, those keys change as the season progresses.
Well, let's see what the Yankees can do against Jeff Suppan. He had an easy inning in the first, only 8 pitches. As the Yankees go down, this is Bernie Williams taking the first pitch down low. Bernie batting .307 with those 30 home runs and 121 runs batted in. We talked about silent superstars, Sweeney and Kansas City Royals. Bernie Williams is about as silent a superstar that I've ever seen. Not a whole lot to talk about Bernie, but he just puts up huge numbers every year. And very solid in the outfield. All-star player, Gold Glove winner. Ball just explodes off his bat. That pitch is up high for ball 3, 3-0.
Joe Torre normally would give Bernie Williams the hit sign, 3-0. There's Gary Denbo, the new hitting instructor. See what Joe does with Bernie right here. Early in the season, you have a tendency to be a little quick with the cold weather coming from the hot weather.
Good pitch by Suppan on the outside corner. Of course, Bernie took it on 3-0. Bernie's 9th straight opening day start for the Yankees. A product of this farm system. A little looper out into left field. And Quinn tracking it. I think he thought that Beltran was going to pick it up, but at the last second, Quinn stuck the glove out and the ball went in.
That's one of those, you got it, I got it. You got it, I got it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take it.
Tim, you pointed out earlier in the telecast for Chuck Knoblauch, Yankee Stadium left field, pretty good size left field. A lot of times you have problems positioning yourself out there. You see, it's not as big as it used to be several years ago, but it's still very spacious in left and left center.
It's the toughest left field to play in the major leagues, and that's what makes Chuck Knoblauch's job that much more formidable. David Justice, the designated hitter today, but he can see some time out in left field himself.
Joe has always wanted to take David Justice and play him in left field a little bit, DH him a little bit, give him time off, and make sure that he is well rested throughout the year. That's his strategy. That was his strategy last year. Of course, the Yankees have had so many problems finding that everyday left fielder that Justice had to play a little bit more out there than Joe wanted him to, but he did a fine job. Check your swing. Yes, he did. 2 balls and a strike to Justice, 1 gone for the Yankees here in the second. No score.
The Yankees have not had a left fielder 2 consecutive opening days since 1988. Ricky Henderson was the last left fielder to play over 100 games for the Yankees. 100 starts, that is.
Yeah, 11 different opening day left fielders in the last 13 years. So if you're a left fielder, get ready. You may have a chance to make it with the Yankees.
Chuck Knoblauch is the 39th left fielder that has played next to Bernie Williams in the last 9 years. 39th.
And this one certainly wasn't by design.
Nope.
Maybe by necessity. Line in the left field, first base hit for the Yankees this year. David Justice. It took 4 batters, and Justice finally delivered.
What a terrific job of hitting with 2 strikes, protecting outside, ball below the knees, and Justice for the first Yankee hit of the 2001 season.
Well, we talked about left fielders. That's Dave Winfield, the newest Hall of Famer, sitting up in George Steinbrenner's box, helping raise that 26th World Championship flag along with the scooter. Doc Gooden was here. Down low to Tino Martinez for ball 1. Yeah, when he patrolled left field, there was some consecutive left fielder opening up. And it was Dave Winfield for many, many years. Hit hard for right to Sanchez, and it was hit so hard that Justice didn't have a chance to even get down the line very far, so he gets back at first base, and there's 2 outs for the Yankees.
Watch Justice at first base, stop, and then go back. You should never get doubled off if you're on at first on a line drive to the left side, because if the ball does get through, you're only going to go to second anyway.
Yeah, always when you get on first base, the first base coach reminds you, make the ball go through. Don't get doubled off on a line drive. Now Posada will step in. Nice stop by Ortiz. Posada catching almost 150 games last year for the Yankees. The Yankees made a move this year, 143 to be exact. Posada caught. Joe Oliver now the new backup catcher. That's on the outside corner for a call strike, 1-1.
One thing about Jorge, he also caught all 15 games that the Yankees played in the postseason. That's 158 games in one season. That's a ton.
Hit hard and off the glove of Fables into right field. Quickly on it is Dye, and Justice will hold at second with 2 men out. So the Yankees with a couple of base hits here in the second. That'll bring up Soho.
Hanging curveball unclothes Carlos Fables, the second baseman. Had no chance. Clearly a base hit. And the scene is set, Bobby. The last run that was driven in by the Yankees in the year 2000 was driven in by Luis Sojo, a 38 hopper up the middle, driving in 2 as the Yankees beat the Mets.
A little over a year ago, the Yankees didn't think that they needed Luis Sojo, so they got rid of him and decided that they really missed him a great deal. That pitch down low to Sojo. He could do so much, so they went out and got him back, and thank heavens they did, because he was, as always, he was a big part of the Yankees' success later part of the season. And always can do the job, plays many positions, and just seems to always come up big when the time is right. Down low now for ball 2 to Sojo. You know, it takes a special guy, Tim. The runner's on, like Sojo, could sit on the bench for, you know, maybe 10, 11 days not even played, and all of a sudden you're called upon to do something, and you go up and do it. Luis knows what his job is, and right now it's to fill in at short until Jeter gets to the stadium this weekend. That'll be popped back and out of play. Now it's 2 balls and a strike.
Luis from Barquisimeto down in Venezuela, and playing in the Venezuelan Winter League this year, as he's done for the past 8 years. A national hero because of that hit that he got off Al Leiter in Game 5 of the 2000 World Series. Even to the point where it said in the Post today that he was fearful.
Chopper out in front of the plate. Ortiz waves off Supron and throws it low. Sweeney digging it out, so the Yankees do some threatening here in the second. Still no score here at the stadium. Opening day.
Rogers' third full year as a Yankee. He started the opening game against Oakland 2 years ago. David Cohn last year. Rogers' thoughts on opening day this year.
It's just an honor. I'll be excited. I think sometime this evening I'll start getting pretty excited about it, and you know, I don't care how many times I've done it. I won't sleep sound, and just be ready to go tomorrow, and go out here and try and get it done.
Those thoughts obviously taped by us yesterday afternoon. Here's Ray Sanchez, the shortstop, and he takes a fastball outside. So far, Clemens has put the Kansas City Royals bats to sleep.
And you know what, Tim? That's from a guy that's got a Hall of Fame career, 5-time Cy Young Award, and opening day, he still gets the jitters just like the rookies do.
Got to keep the juice, baby. But 1-1 to Sanchez.
Opening day is such a, it's probably, it's the best day until you get to the World Series. And when you've won 3 consecutive World Series and 4 out of the last 5 years, it even makes it more special here at Yankee Stadium.
Fly ball right field. O'Neill over, 1 out. No score, top of the third, 1 out, nobody on, and that'll bring up the top of the order Carlos Fables, the second baseman.
Well, the last couple of years, especially the year 2000, he was 13-8, 3.70. That was the second best earned run average behind Pedro Martinez. Pedro had a 1.74. You can see the huge difference in that, but 2 seasons with the Yankees, pretty impressive, especially the second half of last year.
Fables trying to bunt, takes a fastball for a low strike. 0-1 to Fables. Grounded back to Clemens in the first inning. Popped up. O'Neill again. 2 outs here in the third of the scoreless opening day ball game. As was our policy last year, Yankee policy, taking a look at our Toyota Everyday Fan. And those 2 youngsters qualified. Here's Carlos Beltran with the only Kansas City hit. 2 for the Yankees, 1 for the Royals in the hit department. Neither team has crossed the plate yet. 0-1 now to Beltran.
Baseball's America's pastime, and our president, George W. Bush, has said that he wants to bring prominence back to the White House and also to baseball, and he's building a field there.
Chuck Knoblauch's first chance in left field to a standing ovation. No score after 2.5. Chuck Knoblauch on deck and giving a rousing round of applause after making this routine catch. So Chuck on deck as Scott Brocious leads it off here in the third.
Can of corn.
Can of maize, if you will.
Big hand for a fly ball.
Yeah, I don't think Chuck can expect that after every routine play in left field.
I don't think so.
1 ball, no strikes to Brocious with Knoblauch on deck. Scoreless ball game. And the slider from Suppan is in there.
The other thing that Knoblauch will have to get used to in left field, especially when we have a sunshiny day, is dealing with that sun that peers over the facade here at Yankee Stadium, and it gets right into left center field. And no problem today, though.
Cued off by Brocious. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Scott. And Bobby, we talked about it so many times last year. The corner in left field, how that ball caroms around on balls down the line, playing that area right in there. Very, very difficult here.
And also Yankee Stadium has erected something new here around the fences in left field.
Right center field could drop and does. So Brocious leads off the Yankee third with a base hit.
In left field, the Yankees have designed a special section for the physically challenged alongside Monument Park. That's the plexiglass. That's the first time ever that Yankee Stadium has had plexiglass there. But the special section now for the physically challenged right alongside Monument Park. So that's something else Knoblauch will have to deal with.
Before that was erected, of course, last year, Yankee fans remembering that ball hit by Todd Zeile in Game 1 of the World Series off the top of the wall. And Timo Perez being thrown out after not running hard from first to second. A very, very important play in Game 1 of the 2000 series. Knoblauch takes a fastball, ball 1. And here it is again. No score. Game 1 of the series last year. Perez was celebrating, but Justice and Jeter doing their job in the meantime to cut down Perez at home plate. 1-1 to Knoblauch.
Boy, you hate to say so early in a series as being the first game, but I got a feeling that this play right here was the one that turned the whole series around. The new section that you were talking about, if that was erected right now, that ball would have been out of the stadium, but it hit right on top of the fence out of left field last year. And now you can see that plexiglass and how far it is between the plexiglass and the regular left field wall.
Good fastball on the corner to Knoblauch. Chuck questioning Tim Welke, the home plate umpire, but it's 1 ball, 2 strikes to Chuck. That's right there. Good pitch from Suppan. Tapped foul. You saw that defensive swing. Just a reminder that last year, all major league hitters hit 192 with 2 strikes on them. 192. That's backing up theory with facts right there. Do you think it's important to stay ahead if you're a pitcher? You better believe it.
And how important it is to stay ahead when you're a hitter.
Right. That's right.
So it just works for both teams.
Ground ball, shortstop, an easy double play ball as Knoblauch hits it to Sanchez. A very underrated double play combination around second base. Sanchez with only 4 errors last year, and Fabulous strong on defense.
About as sure-handed as you want at shortstop. Sanchez, 33 years old, so he's one of the older guys on this ball club. Fabulous at second base, only 24. But it's been a great combination for this young favorite at second base to settle in behind a guy like Sanchez as a duo.
Slider to Soriano is low. Alfonso grounded to short his first at bat. Talk of spring training. The ball explodes off his bat. I mean explodes.
Saw a couple of times last year, you know, Alfonso hitting balls deep here at the stadium. He had 5 home runs.
Babless can't get to it. That fastball from Suppan exploded Alfonso's bat. But he gets the third, make that the 4th Yankee hit of the ball game.
Yeah, the pitch up and in, and Soriano able to fight it off over the head of Fabulous. You got to be strong to do that. We were talking about Soriano's numbers in the spring, that .348 batting average, 5 home runs, 13 RBIs. A couple of home runs last year and 22 games with this Yankee ball club. But when he settles in on an everyday basis, a lot of the Yankee people think that he can hit 15, 20 home runs.
Well, the one thing he can do also is run.
Yes, he
had 8 stolen bases. 8 of the 17 stolen bases the Yankees had in spring training were by Soriano. O'Neill, a looper down the left field line. That's going to be foul. 0-1 to Paul. And earlier in the inning, we talked about the very important play of Zeal's ball that hit off the wall and Timo Perez not running. That was a very important play. But Paul O'Neill's 10-pitch at bat against Armando Benitez in the 9th inning with 1 out and nobody on. It earned Paul a walk. That was another key play in that marvelous baseball game. First game of the series last year. 1-1 to O'Neill.
Well, we all got our money's worth. It lasted till about 1:30 in the morning.
Jose Vizcaíno driving in the go-ahead run in the bottom of the 12th as the Yankees won game 1 of the World Series. 2 balls and a strike now to O'Neill. It's a pretty good running situation for Soriano. We'll see. Bernie Williams on deck.
Hector Ortiz getting the start for Kansas City because of Zahn and the injury, but Ortiz actually became the personal catcher for Suppan. Got a good arm and better known for his defense, so not his offense.
Alfonso looked like he was stealing, leaning just a bit on that right leg, but dives back in time. Willie Randolph, not only the third base coach, but Soriano's tutor around second base. Willie being the great second baseman that he was for the Yankees for a long, long time. Looks like he was going again.
Yeah, he's got a big lead over there. Willie, you can see Soriano just getting back. Sweeney putting the tag on his head. Willie telling me that one of the things that Soriano does have to work on at second base, and not all the time with his feet, but throwing around the runner on a double play or a guy coming in to try to break up the double play, he's got to make that guy hit the dirt. He says he's got the tendency to throw around the runner. A lot of times he'll throw the ball wide at first base because he won't make the runner hit the dirt.
Not running, and O'Neill's bat's broken. Shallow center field, and in is Beltran to make the play. So the Yankees thwarted with that leadoff hit. Still no score after 3. Roger Clemens has given up 1 hit to the Royals. The Yankees have 4. No score here in the top of the 4th inning. And Mike Sweeney is the batter, and that is what the Yankees would love to do during this series. The first of 3 is to keep Mike Sweeney, the hitter, with nobody on. Leading off innings or 2 out and nobody on, things of that nature. This guy can flat rake, as the players say.
Made his first All-Star appearance last year. You know, you were talking about pitching in front of a hitter or the hitter hitting in front of a pitcher. Mike Sweeney only struck out 67 times last year. He has a great command of home plate and knows the strike zone very well.
Throughout the minors, and this is rare with youngsters coming up now, throughout the minors, he walked more than he struck out during a season.
0-2 as Sweeney is late on the Clemens fastball. A lot of times, Bobby, a strikeout is not the only measure, and of course you know that, of a pitcher's effectiveness. Often it's opposite field outs. Hitters that can't get around on the fastball. Clemens throwing awfully hard. Splitter misses, 1-2 to Sweeney.
And Clemens, being the power pitcher that he is, he's got the 2-seam and the 4-seam fastball that he throws. He likes to pitch up in the strike zone, and when you have that 90-plus fastball, you can do that.
This one grounded toward third. Easy play for Brocious. And there's one out here in the fourth inning. Well, we talked about Roger Clemens and the opposite field outs. Consider the third inning. All outs to the opposite field. First, Sanchez, fly to right. Next, Fabulous, fly to right. Next, Beltran, fly to left. So the Royals clearly are not getting around on Roger Clemens so far. One out here in the fourth, and Jermaine Dye the batter.
All those pitches up in the strike zone, too.
This one grounded through the left side as Jermaine Dye has the second Royal hit, and he's the one-out base runner. Folks, the Yankees' quest for a 27th World Championship, hard to believe, isn't it? 27th World Championship continues this week as they battle the Kansas City Royals at the stadium after an off day tomorrow. And the Royals here at 7:05 on Wednesday, and then an afternoon game on Thursday before the Toronto Blue Jays move in to town. All fans 14 and under receive a Major League Baseball Showdown 2001 board game sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. Tickets are going fast, so don't miss out on the exciting championship season. And another pop fly ball to the opposite field, caught by Soriano, 2 out.
Late swinging again on a high pitch that looked like it was up and in, and that makes you, tie your hands up, and that's what a lot of power pitchers like to do, is to tie those hands up to keep the hand from being extended through the strike zone. Hitters like to extend their arms and hands through the strike zone, and pitchers like to tie them up and don't allow them to do it.
Mark Quinn now the batter. Quinn flied to right. First time up. Relatively close. Can't worry too much about Dye. He had no stolen bases on only one attempt last year.
A lot of runners that can run will continue to creep out a little bit, and as the pitcher throws over there, determine how far they can get without being thrown out. Just really testing the distance between first base and the big lead that they can get. I mean, if you get back real easy, you take another half a step. If you get back half as easy as you did that time, you take another half a step.
1 ball, no strikes to Mark Quinn. There's a strike, 1-1. As a matter of fact, Ed Stanky, when Eddie was the manager of the White Sox, he managed the Cardinals back in the 50s, the White Sox in 66 and 67. He would demand that every base runner on his team get picked off at least one time in spring training to make sure that he knew where his limit was. Foul back the other way. 1-2 now to Mark Quinn.
Some guys will go to first base and they will mark a line in the dirt out there just so that they can get some sort of a distance between first base and their leadoff. Some guys will, if they'll mark a line right here or right there, and that'll give them a place to place themselves, whether it be the left or the right foot.
Fans bustling for a strikeout. 1-2 to Quinn. Fastball inside corner, and Quinn is down on strikes. Second strikeout for Clemens. And that is the first inside fastball he's thrown to a right-hander this afternoon. And it locks up Quinn. Still no score. Folks, Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Pre-game show at 6:30, as a matter of fact. MSG Network brings you the first of 100 exclusive Yankee games this season. Join MSG for all the action, plus pre- and post-game coverage. And boy, did they do a great job covering the Yankees. Our pals Al Troutwig, Ken Singleton, Jim Cotton will all be here to cover that game on Wednesday night, Thursday afternoon, and then Friday evening against the Blue Jays. And then Bobby and I will be back right at you here on Fox 5 on Saturday. Here's Bernie Williams in the scoreless ball game. And a good game. Now, folks, you've got to agree that this is a lot better than watching the stock market. Nothing at 1 to Bernie Williams.
Unless you're selling short.
Our director, Bill Webb, paying attention, and that's scary. We don't like him to pay that close attention.
Yeah, he only does it early in the season.
1-1 to Bernie
when he's fresh.
Only on opening day.
Yeah. You know, I can't wait. I haven't talked to Kitty in a long time. I can't wait to visit with him. I know he's got some new technique for golf that's going to help me.
Hit hard. Sweeney to Suppan. 1 out.
Mike Sweeney, a converted catcher over at first base, and he makes a heck of a stop on a ball that's hit extremely hard from Bernie Williams. Now, that's all reflexes right there. That's what that is. And the one thing that they teach a first baseman is once you get that ball, give that pitcher the ball as soon as you can and get it up to where he can make the play.
So you don't have the pitcher trying to find the ball in the bag at the same time. That's why you give it to him quickly. Here's David Justice. He singled on a pitch similar to that his first time up. 0-1 to Justice, and clearly David did not agree with Tim Welke's call. Jammed here, 0-2 to David.
The left-handed hitters for the Yankees, not traditionally the type of left-handed hitters that, you know, the baby boomers enjoyed here at Yankee Stadium. I mean, most of the left-handed hitters here were all dead pull hitters. These left-handed hitters like David Justice, they can pull the ball if they want to, but they also hit the ball the opposite way. Tino Martinez, Paul O'Neill, Bernie Williams when he hit from the left side. Still not that far down the right field line, but he used to be a lot shorter at 296 at 314 now.
Yeah, the right field porch here at Yankee Stadium, very inviting to left-handed hitters. Tried the backdoor slider. It's 2-2 now to David Justice.
You know, Justice does things that I couldn't do in my time at bat when I played. How he could hold up. I mean, you got to be strong. You got to have strong hands. You got to have strong forearm to be able to hold up on a pitch such as he did right there.
Tapped foul. 2-2. You also have to have a shorter stroke. The longer the stroke, the tougher it is to hold up with those check swings.
Keep in mind that Jeff Suppan gave up 36 home runs last year. That was most in the American League, but he relies on his control, good fastball, curveball, and a change.
Inside, full count to Justice. The Kansas City staff gave up the most home runs in the American League last year, much to the dismay of their manager, Tony Muser. Jamie Quirk, bench coach for Tony. I think Jamie will be a big league manager one of these days. Ground ball nailed by Suppan. 2 quick outs here in the 4th inning of the scoreless ball game. Folks, for the latest and late breaking news, plus Yankee postgame highlights, interviews, and more, watch John Rowland and Rosanna Scotto on the Fox 5 10 o'clock news tonight. John and Rosanna will be following our broadcasts of the game in the evenings when we have weekly games or games during the week, as we will throughout the course of the season. Here on opening day, no score, bottom of the 4th inning. And it's 1 ball, no strikes to Tino Martinez.
One thing the Yankees want to do is to try to help Tino improve some numbers. For the first time in a long time, he did drive in 100 runs last year. He only drove in 91. But some numbers over the last 4 seasons, you could see 91 in 2000, but 105, 103, and then 141 in 97. Batting average got the same. Home run production way down. And when that happens, Tim, a lot of times the talk around baseball says, well, you know, the bat's beginning to slow up. He can't get around on the fastball anymore. And so Tino this year is going to try to disprove all those rumors that are flying around.
Fouled away, 2-2 to Tino Martinez. Tino undertaking a rigorous physical fitness regimen this offseason in Tampa. Had his personal trainer and really recommitted himself to getting in the best shape of his life, so says Tino. 3-2 to Martinez.
You know, you talk about pressure. We know what the pressure is for Alfonso Soriano at second, Knoblauch in left field. But I think there's a lot of pressure on Tino Martinez at first base. I think there's pressure on Brocious at third base. You got Nick Johnson just waiting to move in there at first. You got Drew Henson that they just signed out of Michigan.
Fly ball, right center field. Back is Beltran, gone. Home run, Tino Martinez. The physically fit Tino Martinez with his first home run of the year, 1-0 New York.
I want the trainer's name myself. Tino, that was the Tino of old. Right center field. That ball looked like was caught a little bit of the outside part of the plate. Tino turns on it. So Tino hits the first home run for the Yankees here in 2001, puts the Yankees out in front.
Jorge Posada, 0-1 to Jorge. That's what happens when that backdoor slider doesn't go in the back door, it goes in the side door.
Goes out of the ballpark.
When a pitcher misses with a pitch like that, he's got to miss off the plate and not over the fatter part of the plate. That's what Suppan did, and Martinez made him pay. 0-2 now to Posada.
And we were talking about Suppan, and he knows about the World Championships that the Yankees have won here. He has got to move the ball in and out. He's got to be perfect almost with his pitches, and when you're not a lot of times and you're playing against teams like the Yankees, I mean, they'll make you pay for it. But he has worked the ball fairly well up into that one little pitch that he missed on Martinez.
Inside, 2-2 to Posada. One to nothing New York here in the fourth. A home run by Tino Martinez. Ground ball, and that'll get Suppan out of it. We're going to show you where the pitch should have been and then where the pitch was. Suppan trying to miss away, but he hits in the fat part of the bat. And Tino Martinez with the first run of the year for the Yankees. 1-0 New York.
Well, from the Emmy award-winning creator of Ally McBeal and The Practice comes the hit series critics are raving about. Watch Boston Public tonight at 8 o'clock here on Fox 5. Speaking of Boston Public, Boston Red Sox will be in town. There's the good doctor announcing his retirement at the end of spring training. So the doctor's playing career is over. He was here to help raise the World Championship flag for the Yankees. And the first pitch is to D. Brown. And he lines it sharply to Bernie Williams. I darn near said Willie Wilson.
Wow.
Kansas City. But how I would do that, I don't know.
Willie Wilson set a World Series strikeout record in 1980 as an offensive player. You want to do that as a pitcher, not as a player.
Yeah.
Striking out 12 times. He made the last out of the series when the Phillies won their only World Series against the Kansas City Royals.
Hector Ortiz now takes a pitch up high. When I was preparing, for the Yankees in Kansas City, I couldn't help myself to go back to the days that we really had the big rivalry here with this Kansas City Royal Ball Club with Willie Wilson and Brett and Otis and Hal McRae and all
Whitey
those
Herzog.
guys. Whitey Herzog and we've kind of the Yankees have lost that that rivalry that they used to have with Kansas City, late 70s and the 80s. Well hit into center field this time. That line drive will fall in front of Bernie for the third hit for Kansas City. One out here in the fifth.
Well, they have not lost that competitive edge with the Crimson Hose.
Yeah.
The Red Sox, Yankees go to Boston on the 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th of this month. We carry 3 of those 4 games. And then Boston comes to New York for 3 games at the stadium. 19th, 20th, and 21st. Make that the 20th, 21st, and 22nd. We will carry all 3 games right here on Fox 5.
Ray Sanchez would like to carry one on the right side. Sanchez bats 9th in this lineup. Well, the year 2001 brings an unbalanced schedule. And that plays well for the Eastern Division because they play more games within their own division, what everybody's always wanted to do. And Boston and the Yankees play about 13 games throughout the middle of May, I think it is.
Right.
But Boston is devastated right now with injuries, including their best hitter, Garcia Parra, on the disabled list. Sagerhagen's on the disabled list. Cohn's on the disabled list. Pachardo's on the disabled list. Carl Everett has challenged Mike Tyson to a championship fight.
Teams in the American League East and Central face each divisional opponent 19 times. In 2000, 48 games. So that's up about 65% this year. So 19 times against the Red Sox.
But that's the way it should be. I mean, if
Absolutely.
you're going to have to win your division, you should play more games against your rivals within that own division. And I think that was the biggest complaint every ball club had, was that they just at the proper time they didn't have enough games against the people that they needed to beat. Well, that's changed here in 2001. Cuts down on the travel too to the West Coast. Well, we're going to have a timeout and we're going to talk it over. 2 balls and a strike, 1 out, 1 man on for Kansas City here in the top of the 5th inning. Yankees lead it 1-0. The Tino Martinez home run, first of the year. And Clemens trying to get it started off right for the Yankees in their quest to win 4 consecutive World Championships in a row.
Well, Joe Torre knows this. This is a good time to hit and run with a guy like Sanchez. Roger Clemens not the ideal guy to do that against because he throws too many high fastballs. But under normal circumstances, you could look for Ortiz to be running in this situation. See if Tony Muser puts him in motion.
There he goes. The hit and run is on, and he hits it back towards the shortstop. And Soho's only play, the pitch was inside, it wasn't away, so he got in on his hands. And he did his job because the runner ends up at second with 2 outs.
Now, Ortiz is not a fast runner. That has nothing to do with whether you want to put the hit and run on or not. The Yankees almost had the wrong guy covering. But Soho, because he is so astute in the field, didn't leave his position. A lot of middle infielders should come in first and then over. When you come in, you don't vacate that position. Soho doing a good job and getting the 1 out.
That was a good call, partner, on that hit and run possibility there. And Clemens, knowing that, of course, they had that conversation, and Clemens not putting a pitch on the outside part of the plate. He put it inside, thinking that maybe the hit and run could be on. So he counteracted that too. Carlos Fablis hitting leadoff. He led off only 1 game all last season. Of course, Johnny Damon was in that leadoff spot. And it looks like Fabulous will be that leadoff hitter for Muser this year. Runner down at second. And the breaking ball in there for a call strike. Fabulous 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flied out. Well, besides the opening day announcement of the players on the sidelines, when the sun came out, we got a big ovation for the sun here at Yankee Stadium, too. I'm even applauding that pitch up high, and it's 1-1. Sunshine just does something to you. I mean, it's a ray of, I guess it's a ray of hope.
Good for you. Vitamin C.
Absolutely. Puts energy in your body. And there's 55,000 plus here at the stadium. Sellout crowd. And 2 balls and a strike. There is no doubt about who the best ball club is in New York. After the Yankees beating the Mets in the World Series last year, of course, there's no doubt about who is the best team in the world, and that's the Yankees the last 3 years. So every year there was a what if, or, you know, I don't know, and no more. 44 years it took for a Subway Series to be played. I never thought I would see it in my lifetime, but I think that was what a special treat it was for this part of the country. Chopper and through the hole left side. Knoblauch's first chance to throw out a runner. Knoblauch's throw will not be in time. Ortiz comes on to score to tie the game up. And Fabulous with a big hit with 2 outs here in the 5th.
Well, Chuck, not only that ball not thrown probably, when a ball takes this long to get to you as an outfielder, you have no play at home. Throw the ball to second base. But there again, we're talking about routine plays in left field. Chuck Knoblauch is not expected to throw out anybody on a play like this, but do it routinely. Throw the ball to second base, keep Fabulous at first. You got a tie ball game, but you don't have anybody in scoring position.
2 outs, and this off the end of the bat. It could fall. Bernie on the run, and he makes the catch. What a play by Bernie Williams. Gold Glove center fielder, and he takes a run away from Kansas City. Nice going, Bernie, with the sunglasses down. But Kansas City comes up big here in the 5th inning. They come up with 1 to tie it up at 1 apiece. New York Yankees baseball on Fox 5 is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Quality Ford Store, home to 5 of the 10 of the best sellers in America. And by Campbell's Chunky Soup. It fills you right up. By Acura, introducing the 260 horsepower Acura TL Type S. Welcome to New York Yankees baseball here on Fox 5. We are tied at 1 here in the bottom of the 5th inning with the Yankees coming up. Bobby Mercer along with Tim McCarver. Second trip for Soho. He grounded out his first time up, and Suppan delivers on the outside corner for a call strike. Sunshine has come out here in the Bronx. There was talk of rain and maybe even some snow. But today, so far, we haven't had any of that, and the sun has finally broken through these clouds with a capacity crowd on hand. She never looked better. I'm talking about Yankee Stadium. That'll be out of play with all the banners, and red, white, and blue, and capacity crowd.
And the forecast has never looked better either. The Yankees, as a matter of fact, last Friday, the forecast was so bad for today that the Yankees almost canceled the game yesterday because of the forecast being so bad. But things have cleared up, and they were right to play it, and got a good ball game on our hands, too.
Two balls and 2 strikes to Soho, leading off here at the bottom of the 5th. Down low, 3-2. Well, today's fact of the game is brought to you by Honda. First opener at home in the last 6 years. Longest streak without home opener in franchise history. Yankees have opened up most of the time out on the West Coast. Well, they're glad to be home. Looping fly ball in the center. Beltran puts it away, 1 gone. Got Brocious now. Comes to the plate with one out. Brocious with a single back in the third. Gary Denbo, the new hitting instructor. Chris Chambliss has moved on. Denbo with ties to Don Mattingly out of Indiana. Played Little League ball and also some American Legion ball with Mattingly. They know each other very well. Has been in the Yankee organization many, many years as a manager and has been the hitting instructor throughout the Tampa complex. And some of the guys have really latched on to Denbo and what he has got to say about hitting. And one of the things that they're working with Brocious on is keeping that front shoulder in. Brocious sometimes gets into that habit with a lot of hitters do, where they let that front shoulder fly out, open up. Good pitch on the outside corner. Now it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Reason for that is you can't hit that pitch that was just thrown unless your front shoulder's in there. And Gary knows that. Scott Brocious knows that. A lot of times when you have just a fraction of a second to react, you forget that. The muscles forget that.
Way outside and high for 2-2 count.
All muscle memory for a hitter is reacting to a pitch. You have the same swing for the pitch inside as you do for the pitch away. But the front shoulder staying in is a key to both hitting and pitching.
Check swing, and Ortiz is up with it. Back him out, throw him out here with Scott Brocious. 2 gone for New York. Second strikeout for Suppan. Knoblauch coming to the plate for the 3rd time. Had a chance to throw somebody out. This is a la Chad Curtis. When Knoblauch makes his throw, watch what he does. Chad used to do that almost every time he threw the ball into home.
Yeah, but the ball should have, again, the ball should have gone to second base. When it takes that long to get to you, then that's going to give even the slowest runner a chance to score.
2-out hit for Knoblauch. Now the Yankees with some speed at first with Soriano coming up. Knoblauch's first hit of the season.
Talked about the front shoulder, the pitch on the outside part. You cannot hit that pitch unless the front shoulder's in there. Of course, Chuck is pulling out just a bit. Does not make solid contact. Good enough for a base hit. As the hitters say, good enough for a knock.
You bet. Looks like a line drive in the papers. Soriano 1 for 2. Off the end of the bat, could the sun be a problem? You can see that Quinn was trying to position himself, but he puts it away. So the Yankees strand 1, and we played 5 here at the stadium. We're all tied at 1. 11 o'clock right here on Fox 5. One of my favorite programs.
Jerry Seinfeld, of course, a huge baseball fan, not a Yankee fan, a Mets fan. He's a New York baseball fan, but he likes the Mets more than he does the Yankees.
You know, we had him on a telecast when I was over here at one time.
Funny man,
I forget what station it was. Hopefully we'll get him back. Maybe we'll get him on the broadcast. He was funny. I asked him to sing the national anthem, only he didn't know that he was not the national anthem, but the 7th inning stretch. Take me out to the ball game, only he didn't know he had to. Mike Sweeney leads it off. Popped it up. High pop up. Now this is something I don't know how you guys do it. That ball has that overspin, and immediately the catcher turns around. He's got to fight the sun. He's got to fight the clouds. He's got to fight the wind.
You could see Posada looking up at the sun and the wind. The one thing you don't want to do in situations like that is run too far underneath the ball. That's why you take the mask off, find the ball, throw the mask, catch the ball. Textbook.
1 gone. That's Joe Oliver, the new backup catcher for the Yankees. Remain dive. Strike 1 to dive.
As far as the Yankees are concerned, Bobby, Jermaine Dye and home plate umpire Tim Welke and the Yankees have a lot in common.
Well hit into left center field. Knoblauch on the run. He'll look up and it is gone. Monument Park home run by Jermaine Dye, his first of the year. He hit 33 last year, and the Kansas City Royals now have taken a 2-1 lead.
And that was not what I was talking about that the Yankees and Dye and Welke had in common, as Jermaine Dye, with a solo home run, puts the Royals ahead. These guys in the middle of the order, legitimate threats. You could see that look on Roger Clemens' face the minute the ball made contact with the fat part of the bat.
Up high to Randa. I think that's what really excites Tony Muser. Is the fact that they've got the offense. They can improve on their saves in the bullpen. They won 77 games last year. Let's just say 26 saves blown last year. If they can improve 50% on that, they win as many games as the Yankees did.
That connection, Dye and Welke. Jermaine Dye was the right fielder for the Atlanta Braves in '96. Braves had a 6-0 lead in Game 4. They led the Yankees 2-1 in the World Series. And Jermaine Dye collided with Tim Welke, the right field umpire in Atlanta. It was the next to last game played at Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta. That made Dye miss the ball. The ball was a foul ball hit off the bat of Jeter. Jeter got a two-strike single. The Yankees scored 3 runs in that top of the 6th inning. And that set it up for the Leyritz home run to tie it in the 8th off Mark Wohlers.
Should be an easy play for Williams in center. And he puts it away. Now 2 gone.
So that tie-in between Dye and Tim Welke and the Yankees, 5 years old and indelible in my mind.
Well, Jermaine Dye came to the Royals back in 1997, and there was, big talk about him being one of the big superstars for Atlanta. They got rid of him in exchange for Michael Tucker and Keith Lockhart. And right now, certainly the Kansas City Royals have gotten the best deal of that. Bernie once again with a great play in center. Robbing Mark Quinn of a line drive base hit. It could have been more if he gets by him. So that's the second good play that Bernie has made in center field. He continues to pop the leather out in the outfield. Kansas City now has taken that 2-1 lead on the Dye home run. Well, we're playing home run ball here at the stadium, and the Royals have the lead 2-1. Let's take a look at our quote brought to you by Jeep. It's from Joe Torre. We're playing for keeps right now. They all count. It's baseball, and I've been in it my whole life, but it still feels new to me. And I think Joe is talking about maybe some of that only 9 wins in spring training as they prepare themselves for the season.
It's just like a wedding here at Yankee Stadium. Something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue. A lot of blue here.
Torrey also needs 18 wins to tie Wilbert Robinson for 22nd place on the all-time list. Paul O'Neill gets it started for the Yankees here in the 6th inning. Boy, that's a classic O'Neill swing, isn't it? Classic.
The inside outs this ball. The ball tailing away. Paul O'Neill, that head down. Keep in mind that during the last 19 games of the 2000 season, Paul O'Neill had 1 extra base hit, and then he had a big postseason. The Yankees getting past a very, very tough Oakland Athletic Ball Club, beating them in 5, and they beat the Seattle Mariners in 6 and the Mets in 5 to win the World Championship, their 26th World Championship.
Bernie takes one down low. Bernie 0 for 2. There it is, 26-time world champions.
How awesome is that? Well, the team with the next most world championships, the St. Louis Cardinals, with 9.
Not even close. And the Yankees working on 4 in a row. they start this year. Chris Wilson now warming up in the KC bullpen. You're going to see some new names as Tony Muser goes to his bullpen for this year. Down low, ball 3. Well, Joe Torre turned Bernie loose on his 3-0 count.
It's an interesting question now, Bobby, because a long ball could put the Yankees back ahead at 2-0 splitter. So we'll see if Joe Torre allows Bernie to hit here. He didn't turn him loose the first time up.
You know, we talked a lot about this 3-0 pitch last year. A lot of hitters don't like to hit 3-0. They think it's too much pressure. Bernie did, and he sent one deep into center field. Beltran going back, and it's gone! Oh, did Joe Torre turn Bernie loose?
Yankee Stadium crowd once again on their feet. Bobby, it is rare when a manager turns a hitter, even a strong hitter like Bernie Williams, loose 3-0, to see him hit that far a ball to center field. He didn't pull that ball. That ball was hit about 440 feet to straightaway center field. Man.
We talked about the explosive bat that Bernie has from both sides, from right-handed and left-handed.
Strong hands.
Oh, boy. So the Yankees now take that 3-2 lead off of the bat of Bernie Williams. This will bring up David Justice. You always love to go back to the dugout, right? And you tell the guy, well, yeah, this is exactly the way I did it. Bernie over there telling Paul, here it is, right here.
When a guy strikes out, he doesn't go back to the bench and tell guys how he does it.
I love it when those guys used to come back, you know, after I struck out, they said, is he throwing hard?
Find
is the
out
ball
for yourself,
moving? Yeah.
buddy.
What do you think? There's one guy I didn't say anything to when he struck out, but he came back to the bench. I bet you can guess who it was.
Mickey?
No, Lou Piniella.
Oh, Lou.
Sweet Lou.
Oh,
You kind of moved down to the end of the dugout when Lou came back. How about that?
How about that? What a great statistic.
Yeah. That's outside, and Suppan falling behind another hitter. 3 balls and a strike. Still nobody out for the Yankees. That's Justice. Justice 1 for 2 in the game. Yankees with 8 hits, and now 3 runs. Ball 4. We talk about.
There are revealing stats, and there are revealing stats, and this is one of them. Bernie Williams swung at 8 of 32 3-0 pitches last year. He went 1 for 4, no home runs. New stat and new year. Bernie Williams, a 3-0 fastball for a 2-run shot. And our thanks to our guys from the Elias Sports Bureau for coming up with yet another interesting number.
Well, Tino went long ball his last time up, and that pitch down low, the request on whether he went around or not, he did not, so it's ball 1. We talked about the pitcher pitching in front of the hitter. How about the hitter being in front of the pitcher and the consequences that happen? We've seen that today. Now Suppan really struggling for his control.
More than any other element in the pitcher-hitter confrontation, whether you are ahead or not, from a pitcher's standpoint, depends on whether a hitter puts a good part of the bat on the ball. Now, does a hitter hit 2-strike home runs? Well, of course he does. Sammy Sosa had 20 2-strike home runs last year to lead the major leagues. But when you talk about the law of percentages, if you are behind in the count as a pitcher, you are asking for trouble.
And I hope you'll bring back this year those charts on pitch counts that we've been talking about for the last couple of years on Fox 5.
Absolutely.
Go over that again and prove everything that you were talking about, we were talking about. In the 4th inning, we talked about Tino's home run into right center. Well, there it is. That was the first home run for the Yankees this year before Bernie put the Yankees ahead with his 2-run shot in this inning. 3 balls and a strike now to Tino with a man on. Justice holding tight, and it's ball 4, and Suppan has walked the last 2 batters. That'll bring up Posada. Suppan started this inning with 76 pitches thrown, which is not a high pitch count at all. But for some reason or another, he has lost his control. He's not pitching in front. Now he's up to 91. Tony Muser has seen it all now, so he has already signaled to the bullpen he's going to bring in a fresh arm. And he realizes that Suppan has lost the strike zone and struggling in this inning. So we've got a pitching change here at Yankee Stadium. Yankees ahead 3-2. We'll be right back. This copyrighted telecast is authorized under rights granted by the New York Yankees solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publications, reproductions, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the New York Yankees and WNYW Fox 5 is prohibited. Suppan is gone, and the pitching change has been made. Tony Kogan, the left-hander, out of the bullpen to face Posada, switch hitter, making his major league debut.
It's interesting that Tony Muser would go to his only left-hander in the bullpen. I think that Tony's thinking on this is that you turn Posada around. Jorge has had 2 good at-bats from the left side. You turn him around, you make the double play more viable because Posada's running out of the right-handed box and not the left-handed box. Kogan out, obviously, to try to get a ground ball at somebody, but you have 2 right-handers following him. And perhaps if Posada does make an out, he can bring in the right-hander from the bullpen to pitch to Soho and or Brocious. Interesting situation.
Yeah.
Because normally you'd only bring a left-hander in to face to a left-handed batter.
Yeah.
Right.
Posada, the switch hitter, obviously turning around for the right side. We've mentioned several times already in this broadcast about the bullpen and the troubles and the travesties that the Royals have had, and they've tried to shore that up. Now they've got a kid in here that's making his major league debut, a non-roster player, Tony Kogan, to face Posada. Nobody out. Yankees with 2 men on, and the Yankees out in front 3-2. First pitch from Kogan outside for ball 1. Posada versus Suppan. Jose Santiago warming up. He was 1 for 2, Posada was. Inside, that's ball 2, 2-0. So Kogan falling behind Posada.
Bobby, Joe Randa at third base, particularly now, you can see where Randa is even with the bag. He's got to be back. I mean, there is no way Jorge Posada's bunting in this situation. Hasn't attempted it yet. And now with the count 2-0, you could see him drifting back now. But he was too shallow those first 2 pitches.
Good pitch by Cogan on 2-0, catching the inside part of the plate. So first strike with Soho on deck and Scott Brocious to follow, and that's probably why Joe Torre is not bunting here in this situation. He would rather have Posada do the job instead of leaving it up to either Soho or Brocious, obviously against the right-hander. Other than that, he'd have to make a move off his bench. Outside, ball 3. Now it's 3-1. Good hitters count now for Posada. Yeah, I don't know, Tim. This strange move by Musier in this situation, knowing that Posada was a left-hander and the right-hander was warmed up. It appeared that Santiago was warmed up. I'm sure he has a better explanation than what you and I are putting on it. Well hit deep to left field. Quinn going back. Beltran looking up, and it's gone. A 3-1 count and a 3-run shot by Posada. The Yankees down, blowing it out here at the stadium. Well, you talk about home run ball. The Yankees didn't hit many in spring training. They only won 9 games, but they've saved up for opening day. And these long balls coming in this inning have all come with the Yankee hitters way out in front of the pitchers, picking on their pitch.
Way out of here. First, Bernie Williams in this inning, a 2-run shot on a 3-0 count. And now Posada on a 3-1 count. So with 2 hitters, it was 6-1. Half a dozen of another.
And Soho makes the first out of this inning.
Jorge right here is looking for something to mash, got it, and did it. That way you can walk around the bases. You don't have to run.
And so far, that Royal bullpen still doing kind of what they did last year. Cogan wasn't a part of it, obviously making his major league debut this year, but the Yankees breaking him in right here in the 6th inning. They have scored 5 already. And Brocious hits one hard for a base hit. Second hit for Scott Brocious.
Last year against the Yankees, the Royals were dreadful. They were 2-8, and their bullpen had an earned run average of over 9.5. That is carried over to this year.
Knoblauch 1 for 3. Yankees looking for more. They lead at 6-2. And the breaking ball way inside for ball 1. There we had that quote by Joe Torre saying, well, now is when it counts, and now is when the guys step up to the plate, and they know what the job is ahead of them, and they know what to do. And certainly so far, they have done it. That's in there for a call strike. Now it's 1-1. It's so different, especially when you have been a world championship ball club. When you're in spring training, you know, you don't always play your mainline players every day. Win and losses don't mean that much. Get in shape, be ready for when the season starts, and you really start to focus. 2 balls a strike now to Knoblauch. Right now it looks like Mariano, all he needs to do is just to stay warm out there. But the Yankees leading 6-2.
Good time to put Brocious in motion. We saw the Royals hit and run. Good time for the Yankees to do it.
Up high and outside, ball 3, 3-1. So if you can do it 2-1, you can do it 3-1. Most of the time, the runner is running on 3-1 unless they take it off.
I'm not a proponent of that, Bobby. Never have been. We talked about it a bunch over the last couple of years.
Runner holds, and the pitch is fouled back and out of play.
2-0 and 3-1 are hitting counts, offensive counts, and when a hitter has to swing at a ball and he has to protect the runner with the runner going, generally speaking, it's not a good running situation. Now, of course, with the count 3 balls and 2 strikes, look for Brocious to run. Scott has to make sure that Cogan is pitching, however. Can't get picked off in this situation.
What Cogan was thinking about. You're right. You know, some players will tell managers on certain counts, if you start the runner, I'm going to wait for my pitch anyway. So, you know, so be it. And I used to be one of those players. I would tell the manager if I didn't like where it was, and if I had the hitter's count, I wasn't going to swing at it. There goes the runner on 3-2, and the pitch is down low, ball 4. That's the 3rd walk in this inning on our Tri-State Ford scoreboard. Only one game in the American League. Chicago leading Cleveland 6-2. That's in the 7th inning. And we're going to have another pitching change here for Kansas City. Like Santiago now will be coming in for the bullpen. Muser making his 2nd trip to the mound. So with another pitching change with the Yankees out in front 6-2, we'll be back right after these messages. Back here at the stadium in the 6th inning, Yankees lead it over the Royals 6-2 as they play long ball here at the stadium. Let's take a look at the upcoming New York Yankees broadcast schedule, which is brought to you by Infinity. Well, our TV schedule. The Royals continue to play this 3-game series as they take a day off on Tuesday. They resume back on Wednesday at 7 o'clock on MSG, then Thursday at 1 o'clock. And they conclude this 3-game series at the start of the season. Both games on MSG, and then the Toronto Blue Jays come to town. The mighty Blue Jays, that is. Friday at 7 o'clock on MSG. We're right back here on Fox 5 on Saturday. And then Sunday, I thought we were back here on Fox 5 too, but it said MSG. We're not. Okay, well, I shouldn't question the graphics. It is MSG on Sunday.
Jose Santiago, the 3rd Royal pitcher, 8-6 a year ago, does throw sinkers and will try to get the ground ball double play here.
Soriano, 1 for 3. 2nd pitching change in this inning. Yankees want more. They lead at 6-2. Knoblauch on at first, then Brocious down at 2nd. Popped him up into right field. They won't be testing Dye's arm. He's got one of those cannons out at right. So 2 gone now for New York. Yankees batting around for the first time this season in this inning. And Paul O'Neill, who started it with a brace hit to left field, he'll come up for the 2nd time. Yeah, here you have Santiago, a right-hander, now having to face some of these left-handed bats that are coming up for New York.
Yeah, Bobby, that was the odd thing about bringing in the left-hander to face Posada. Now with all the left-handers coming up for the Yankees, Tony Muser can't go to another left-hander. Of course, I say of course, it's of course to us, I guess. Scott Mullen, another left-hander in the Royals chain, capable of pitching in the big leagues, but left in Florida.
Chopper right side, tough play for Sweeney. Picks it up very quickly and then steps on the bag, but damage has already been done. The Yankees with big hits by Bernie Williams, Jorge Posada, and they take a 6-2 lead as we go to the 7th. Welcome back to the stadium. 6-2 Yankees lead it over the Royals here in the 7th inning. Today's trivia question is brought to you by Dodge. I love these trivia questions. Roger Clemens is the active career leader in wins with 260. Who is number 2? One of the motivating factors for Roger right now in his career is he wants those 300 wins, and he's 40 away from it. He's got a 6-2 lead here.
Greg Maddux would be the obvious choice. That's who I'd guess.
Well, we're going to have the answer for you coming up shortly. As D. Brown comes to the plate, it's the bottom three now for Kansas City, followed by Ortiz and then Sanchez. Just smoke, swung on and missed. Strike one to D. Brown. Clemens needed 4 strikeouts in this game to tie Walter Johnson at becoming the all-time American League strikeout leader. He's got 2. He'll surely pass that, if not by today, maybe in his next start. Started this inning with only 73 pitches. One and 2 count now to Brown. User also likes to rotate Brown, who is an outfielder, with Quinn and Dye, and keep these guys fresh and let them DH a little bit. That'll be fouled off to the left side.
Well, about an hour and a half ago, is Mel Stottlemyre, who had cancer of the bone marrow last year, throwing out the first pitch to Joe Torre. Both, we hope, have recovered from those very serious maladies, Joe having prostate cancer a couple of years ago. Amazing what guys battle back from, whether you're a manager or a coach or a player. Right behind the railing there is Tony Muser, the manager of the Kansas City Royals, and he has battled back from his problems also. Well, what heinous problems they were, too.
Base hit for Brown, leading off here in the 7th.
Back in 1986, when Tony Muser was a coach for the Milwaukee Brewers, a blast injured 10 at the Brewers camp in Chandler, Arizona. A propane gas tank exploded over the coach's locker area. Tony was the one hit. He was sent to the hospital with burns over 50% of his body in very serious condition. And Tony has recovered fully, and what a horrible 2 years he had to recover. He has recounted those to me, not only to me, but I mean, it's just horrible to hear him talk about how painful those 2 years were for him and his wife. So both Joe Torre, Mel Stottlemyre with the Yankees, Tony Muser overcoming his problems 15 years ago.
Some real miracles floating around the ballpark this afternoon, and you could also include D'Angelo Jimenez.
Sure.
A car accident over a year ago that basically, if it didn't kill him, it should have paralyzed him, and he is back on the roster for the Yankees. It's been a whole year recovering. Up high now, it's ball 3, so Clemens having some problems finding the strike zone against Ortiz.
And Bobby, how many times in the last 5 years were Yankee fans used to looking to the bullpen and seeing Jeff Nelson and Mike Stanton up? Now, only half of that tandem. Nelson's with the Seattle Mariners, partly because he lives in Seattle, wanted to be closer to his family out there. And Seattle decorated the kitty a little more. And now it's going to be Mike Stanton and another right-hander.
Well, you got out there, along with Stanton, you got Todd Williams, Randy Choate, Bo Ringer, and there for a call strike. Now
Brian Bowringer, perhaps the heir apparent to Jeff Nelson, probably has the best stuff, had the best spring, but someone else could enter that picture and do the job.
Mendoza continuing to strengthen his arm on the disabled list and throwing in Tampa. He will play a huge, important part of this ball club. Mendoza, I guess, expected back off the disabled list if everything goes all right, April the 10th. That's Todd Williams alongside Stanton warming up. And it's a 3-ball, 2-strike count. Nobody out here in the 7th. Another foul back and out of play. Ortiz 1 for 2. He's also scored a run, but has never been known throughout his career to be an offensive player. Sanchez waiting on deck. So Clemens trying to get out of this jam. Runner holds. And a pitch in there for call strike 3. Ortiz takes one on the inside part of the plate. 3rd strikeout for Clemens.
Roger battling back from a 3-0 count to this pitch on a 3-2 pitch to get Ortiz. Very important out right there. Ortiz thought it was inside, but it looked like it just had the corner.
Oh, Clemens only 1 strikeout away from tying Walter Johnson, and 2 strikeouts away for taking over the all-time lead in the American League for strikeouts. This is Ray Sanchez taking one down low. Sanchez 0 for 2. Could be 2. Soriano taking himself, and a nice dig up and dig out by Tino Martinez to complete the double play. Pretty good play here by Alfonso Soriano, turning his first double play in the year 2000. Take a look at Clemens. He likes his shirt. Yankees lead it 6-2. A nice double play to end the inning and get the Yankees out of that jam in the 7th. They lead it 6-2. One more look at it, Tim.
Yeah, a guy like Soriano with a very strong throwing arm can make a play like this. It's very difficult to do, going toward the 3rd base line, coming back across your body, but he turned it very effectively.
Yeah, and our play brought to you by that new camera angle that we have that's located right behind home plate.
Which is not sponsored, but this is.
Yes, it is. And I want to make sure I mention the Dodge trivia quiz. Roger Clemens is the active career leader in wins with 260. Who's number 2? And the answer is, you said Maddox, and I'm going to say Maddox 2.
All right.
You're right, 240.
Well, that was kind of an easy one. They're starting us off easy for the 2001 season.
Actually, it was pretty tough for me. Bernie Williams, nothing tough about his last at bat. Bernie sent one way out into center field.
Chris Wilson, still a rookie, only 34 1/3 innings pitched last year.
Boy, you talk about trying to turn a bullpen around, and you've got so many unknowns still out there. I mean, we just saw the kid Kogan making his major league debut. And something that you got to rely on to turn your season around.
You've got to do it with primarily young pitchers.
Yeah, and, you know, and a lot of Jason Grimsley. Grimsley left the Yankees and then now has signed on with Kansas City. He'll add some veteran leadership. Well, if Grimsley doesn't lose his control, I mean, he can have some of the nastiest sinkers you've ever seen. Did a good job for the Yankees, but fell behind quite a bit and was quite inconsistent for about the second half of last year. Up high for ball 2. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Goes to Kansas City, however, with 2 World Series rings in his pocket.
Not bad. I'm sure he's had a lot of questions from those young players about, well, what was it like over there with the Yankees, and what do you have to do to win a world championship? What was it like? All you can say is that if you are on a world championship ball club, you can say that you're one of the elite players that's ever played this game, because there are a lot of great players that have played this game for many years and have never had the opportunity to win a world championship. Back up the middle. Well, let's take a look at the Hyundai 7th inning recap and our game summary Roger Clemens has a strikeout going. The long ball has been present here at the stadium. Tino Martinez, great plays by Bernie, not only in the field but with the bat. He went deep. So did Posada. And the Yankees lead it 6-2 on 11 base hits. And Clemens with 3 strikeouts, only 1 away to tie Walter Johnson, 2 away to take the outright lead in the American League all-time in strikeouts. David Justice outside for ball 1.
Sometimes the way you take is the way you hit. And right now you can tell David did not have a good spring. He's jumping at the ball right now. Whenever that front foot goes up too high and down too quickly, you can see it right there.
That was off the end of the bat. Sanchez will make the play to second. Fables back to first. They almost turned. A terrific double play. Nice hustle by Justice to try to stay out of it. But they do get the runner at second.
Watch the front foot go up and down too quickly. You can tell that's what jumping at the ball is. David not allowing the ball to come to him. Hitting it off the end of the bat, and a fine play by Sanchez almost enables Kansas City to turn a remarkable double play, but Justice safe at first.
Bernie in there to up in Fables. That probably was the difference in turning that double play. And Tino would take one down low.
Bobby, you have to be talented to go all the way, to win it like the Yankees had. They have dominated 4 of the last 5 years. But you have to be able to grind it out, too. And I'll tell you, the Yankees, the last 3 weeks of last season, they couldn't beat anybody. They were 3-15 over the last 18 games of the season. And there were a lot of questions in a lot of Yankee fans' minds as to how they'd do in postseason. We mentioned earlier they played a nitty-gritty, very tough Oakland Athletics team, and they beat them in 5.
Tino collecting his second base hit of the game.
You could make a case that Oakland was one of the top 3 teams in the game last year, and certainly one of the best teams in the game this year.
No doubt about it. The only problem, the Yankees, when they were looking over their shoulders, when they were in that slump in September, nobody was gaining on them. Toronto was playing bad, Boston was playing bad, so nobody took the opportunity to move up on them and maybe put a little bit more pressure in that situation.
We talked earlier, the Yankees winning only 87 games. That's the fewest games won by a world champion since Minnesota did it back in 1987. But boy, did they ever step up in the postseason. Joe Torre will tell you that what he thought was a turning point in the postseason was when the team flew back out to Oakland. They were tied with the Athletics 2 games apiece. And they scored 6 runs in the first inning out there and then had to hold on to beat the Athletics.
Sharply hit into right center field. Beltran over it, gets by him. Yankees will play another one. They now lead it 7-2. Martinez will hold it third. And Tino, Bernie, and Posada doing some damage offensively.
Bobby, it just gives you an idea. You mentioned Bernie Williams going in hard at second base. Had the Royals completed that double play, there would have been 2 outs, runners on at second and third, and no runs in for the Yankees. As it stands, not only do they have another run, but a chance to score more runs. That's how important the little things are. As Bernie goes into Fables, here it is again. The ball hit by Justice. Bernie barrels into Fables, makes Carlos go over him to make the play. The throw's not as strong.
Infield was in for Soho, and Sanchez checks the runner back and throws out Soho for the second out.
And so far, that's at least 1 run extra for the Yankees.
One thing you will not see with this Yankee ball club is that they hustle. No matter if it's a routine ground ball, if it's a double play, whatever it is, you will see them hustling down the line.
That's really true. And, you know, there are a lot of teams that are guilty of coasting. But I'll guarantee you that the trademark and characteristic of this ball club over the last 5 years is they don't do that. Joe Torre and Don Zimmer will not allow them to do that, and they won't allow themselves to do that.
Comes from the core of this ball club, and I'm talking about Jeter. I'm talking about Bernie Williams. I'm talking about Tino Martinez. I'm talking about Posada. I'm talking about, you know, the core of this ball club, and when they see those guys doing it, everybody else just follows suit. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Brocious, who is 2 for 3 this afternoon. So the Bro Man has gotten his stroke back. He's already forgot about what happened in spring training. They don't think about the past. It's the future. You watch Brocious and his swing, you know, he's got that short, quick stroke, and he's got a lot of power behind it. But you see Brocious swing at some pitches sometimes, and you wonder, you know, maybe he's just not thinking right at the plate. Maybe he's not giving himself a chance for a better chance for a hit. Gary Denbo, the new hitting instructor for the Yankees, will be watching that very carefully. I know that Rick Cerrone, former broadcaster here and also a former catcher for the Yankees, he used to rely on Charlie Lau and everything that he said every time. Swing and a miss. As Wilson strikes out Brocious, but the Yankees come up with another run here in the bottom of the 7th inning on 3 base hits. And we'll go to the 8th. Yankees ahead 7-2.
Yankees comfortably behind. Roger Clemens 7-2. And Continental Airlines would like to proudly present this week in Yankee history. Remember it, folks, 5 years ago, Andy Pettitte in the snow. That's real snow. That's not the fault of your set. April 9th, 1996, as Andy beat the Kansas City Royals. Continental Airlines, work hard, fly right. As Carlos Fabulous leads it off for the Royals here in the 8th inning. Kansas City trailing by 5. The Yankees with 13 hits, Kansas City with 6, and an errorless game thus far. 1 ball, no strikes to Fabulous. Line drive off of Clemens' glove, and he throws out Fabulous. Now Posada out to see if Rogers all right. Got Roger in the right place. He turned, but did it get his hand? Watch, he turns his right cheek. The Bible tells you to do that. And now he throws out Fabulous, but did it get a piece of his hand?
Well, it got a piece of his backside a little bit, and maybe
turn the other cheek.
Turn the other cheek. I thought when you were quoting that maybe it was "Get behind me, thee Satan." I guess not. You know, Roger said, "Let's go. He's all right."
Well, the Yankees are ahead because 3 guys hit the devil out of the ball today. Tino Martinez, Bernie Williams, and Jorge Posada. Solo home run, a 2-run shot, and a 3-run shot. Here's Carlos Beltran. Beltran 1 for 3 in this ball game. Rogers all right. And a fastball outside, ball 1.
Nobody on this ball club is in better shape, Clemens 38 years old, than Roger Clemens. I have never seen Andy Pettitte look better and stronger than he looks this year, and he has followed Clemens's exercise regime, and he and Clemens are seen side by side every day doing their exercises, and look how lean and mean Andy looks.
Off the shoulder of Jorge Posada. Jorge's all right, but he'll have the stitches of the ball to be looking at tomorrow, right on the bicep of the left arm.
All that protection up around the shoulder and the chest area, and it always finds some spot where it can sneak in.
It certainly does. Joe Oliver, the backup catcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Clemens is 1 away from Walter Johnson, the big train. 2-2 now to Beltran. Mike Sweeney on deck. The rocket caught the big train. 2 outs.
Looks like a split-fingered fastball for the 4th strikeout. And you take a look at Walter Johnson, who holds the American League all-time strikeout total. Johnson at 3,508. And Clemens now has tied that. Now you look at the standings.
Actually,
it was the second time he struck out.
That pitch was dropped by Posada.
Oh, I see.
And now Jorge coming toward the dugout, and he will give the ball to the trainer, or to Lee Mazzilli. And now to Gene Monahan. So there it is. I think that first pitch was fouled, and Posada caught it in the dirt. So then they came back with a similar pitch to strike out Beltran.
Yeah,
so we jumped the gun a bit, but that's all right.
I was wondering why there wasn't more fanfare on it. I saw Joe come out of the dugout, but
This one hit long and deep down the left field line. Is it fair? No. Foul ball by Mike Sweeney. So 0-1 to Mike. Now keep in mind, those strikeouts are only for the American League. I don't mean to diminish it by saying only, but it's a pitcher that has spent his entire time, as Roger has, in the American League. Walter Johnson pitched 21 years for the Washington Senators and had all 3,508 strikeouts as a Senator pitcher, of course. Clemens combining the 3 teams, the Red Sox, the Blue Jays, and now the Yankees. And it's 0-2 to Sweeney. Back to Clemens. So Roger ties the American League strikeout record held once by Walter Johnson. Still the Yankees, 7-2. 7-2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and Walter Johnson's record of 3,508 strikeouts so elusive, Roger had to do it twice.
He certainly did, and it was on this where we thought that Beltran had already struck out. You watch him swing over the ball, and watch the hitter, Beltran. He's walking away. Posada will pick the ball up and tag him, and it appears that Welke had called it as a foul tip. There you see him there, and I did not see that.
I didn't either, Bobby.
I was looking away. Once again, as we take a look at it, if you tip the ball most of the time from a hitter standpoint, you know you've tipped it. You don't walk away. But this was the second time around, and Beltran this time knew that he was struck out. And so officially, it was 3,508 for Clemens.
The National League record, and our man on the spot, Mike Barron, really right on the ball here. The National League record, Tom Seaver, 3,272 strikeouts holds the National League record. Bottom of the 8th, here's Knoblauch. And Doug Henry, the 5th Royal pitcher.
Henry, one of the new players in a trade with San Francisco, brings up stabilization. They hope for that bullpen, and basically Henry's role is going to be to set up Hernandez out of the bullpen. But here in this game, Yankees leading 7-2. Henry getting some work in.
And Henry has gone 2-0 to Chuck Knoblauch. And I fell behind in the count to Mike Schinkman, calling him Mike Barron, and he's looking at me, glaring holes at me in the booth.
Punching me with a pen.
I'm telling you. 2 balls and 1 strike to Knoblauch. Lined, and there's Sweeney. 1 out. As Mike is trying to forgive me, the Yankees' quest for a 27th World Championship continues this week as they battle the Kansas City Royals at the stadium. Thursday, April the 5th, is Major League Baseball Showdown 2001 Day at 1:05. All fans 14 and under receive a Major League Baseball Showdown 2001 board game sponsored by Wizards of the Coast. Tickets are going fast, and it will give you a chance to see the Yankees battle the Royals. The only time the Royals are going to be in town this year, I believe, right?
With that unbalanced schedule, you don't see many of the Central or Western Division ball clubs. Soriano swinging at the first pitch. One of the things that the Yankees will continue to work with Soriano on, and it's so typical of a young hitter being so aggressive at home plate, not being selective in the strike zone. Very aggressive hitter, and normally if it is close, he is swinging at it.
It was Juan Samuel, who's actually from the same town as Soriano, San Pedro de Macorís, who said, when talking about the Dominican Republic, you don't walk off the island. You hit your way off the island.
I'm sure Gary Denbo will be talking about, zoning and looking for your pitches that you can drive. That all comes with maturity too. Comes with not being anxious. When you're a young hitter, you don't want to strike out. You always want to be aggressive at the plate. And a lot of times, young hitters are too aggressive, and they have to learn to be more patient.
Hard, nice play by Random. And he throws out Soriano. That's why they call it the reaction position. Randa reacting well and gets his man. 2 out.
And you may also want to call it the hot corner. So you got to react on a hot one hopper, and that's what Randa did.
Well, the folks at Hyundai and all of us at Fox 5 would like to wish you a happy birthday to Maureen Mannion. Soriano robbed of a hit. Here's Paul O'Neill. Yankees up 7-2 here in the bottom of the 8th. I would imagine Roger will be back out there in the 9th inning. We'll see what Joe Torre does. Roger Clemens has only had 2 complete games as a Yankee. He had 1 last year, 1 the year before. Fly ball to left, and we will see if Roger comes back out for the top of the 9th. The Yankees and Clemens 5 up on the Royals. We'll be back. Today's the day as far as the Yankees and Roger Clemens are concerned, but tonight's the night, the really big night. It's the night that Jerry, George, Elaine, and Kramer are moving to Fox 5. So don't miss the premiere of Seinfeld tonight at 11 o'clock. Right here on Fox 5 as Clay Bellinger comes into the game. And Chuck Knoblauch is out. Play as he did so well last year. Late inning defense, and Roger Clemens is back out in the 9th inning. Here's Jermaine Dye, who homered his second time up. Make that his third time up. Jermaine 2 for 3 on the afternoon. 7-2 Yankees here in the ninth.
Two guys that really give Joe Torre off the bench so much flexibility, Bellinger and Soho.
Soho, of course, starting today. Derek Jeter is expected to return on Saturday, the second game of the series against the Toronto Blue Jays. That is not official, but it's expected. 2 balls and a strike now to Jermaine Dye.
Comes now that that utility guy that can play many positions for you. And of course, they're utilized so much during the course of the year because of injuries and such. But they are making pretty big money today on that 25-man roster. Years ago, that 25th man, he didn't make a whole lot of money. It was mostly the minimum. Now they're making $1 million, $1.5 million bucks.
And the crowd very aware that Roger Clemens could break Walter Johnson's strikeout record with his next one. He has 4 this afternoon. 3,508 during his career. Hard inside the line at third. Bellinger. Dye trying for second. Dye making it. When it's that close, you shouldn't have gone when you trail by 5 in the ninth.
You've got to make sure that's one thing that you have to do. And Dye does make it in there. Look at Roger trying to get in on the hands of Jermaine Dye. The quick hands. Taking that ball inside and down the left field line. Bellinger with a strong throw. And I think if there was that had been a good throw, it'd have been real close at second.
Would have. Here's Joe Randa. The Royals trailing by 5. We're in the ninth inning. Nobody out. Randa 0 for 3 on the afternoon. The fastball is high. Ball 1.
Normally, Alfonso Soriano, you'd like the second baseman to be on the bag to receive the throw. And if it is short, you can come up to meet it. He was already up in front of the bag. I don't think he even... I think he had already thought that maybe it was, just a regular double and there wasn't a play at second base.
1-1 to Randa.
Those will be the things that after the game, Willie Randolph will get with Soriano and say, now look, remember the play on the double down the line with Jermaine Dye. We had a chance of picking him off at second base on the throw if you'd have been there. But you get on the bag, wait for the throw, and if you see it's going to be short, then you can go up and get it.
Fouled away. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and I'm sure the crowd aware once again of a strikeout possibility. I think if he strikes out Randa, Joe would take him out of the game. Squirts away from Posada. Jorge leaves his glove behind the dish. It'll be a wild pitch. First of the year by Roger Clemens. Dye goes to third, but we are in the ninth. The Royals trail by 5. Another look at it.
Jorge trying to knock it down. The ball in the dirt, and the glove came off at the same time.
So Dye over at third base, infield back, of course, with the Yankees up by 5. 2-2 to Joe Randa. Got him. And he got it too. Going to be all for Roger Clemens. stadium where records reign supreme, another record.
A guy with 5 Cy Young awards on his way to the Hall of Fame, and now has set an all-time record in the American League for strikeouts. And after that strikeout, you were right, Joe Torre, to give him all the fanfare that he certainly deserves. Here is the strikeout. And now Roger with the record.
Think about how intelligent it is to take him out, and there you see the list of Nolan Ryan. It's hard for me to believe that anybody will ever catch him. Steve Carlton in second place, almost 1,600 strikeouts behind Nolan Ryan. But you think about how intelligent it is to take Clemens out at this time. By allowing him to get the strikeout, he doesn't have to answer the questions for his next start, which will probably be Saturday. It could be Sunday. You get him the win in all probability, unless the Royals mount a miraculous comeback, particularly with Rivera lurking. Todd Williams will be the Yankee pitcher. It was another Williams, however, who is the honoree of the General Motors Play of the Game, both with the glove twice and with the bat. Those are our General Motors Plays of the Game. Bernie Williams has been all over the place today. That 3-0 pitch that he hammered to center field, driving in Paul O'Neill, put the Yankees ahead 3-2. They've extended to 7-2. So Jorge Posada 3 for 4 with a home run and 4 ribbies this afternoon. Tino Martinez solo home run to give the Yanks their initial lead. Roger Clemens striking out 5 and passing Walter Johnson as the American League strikeout king.
And Todd Williams, the new guy out of the bullpen. Seattle product. Fastball, slider, and split finger. He comes from the side, but he doesn't come from the side kind of like as much as Nelson does. He can utilize a split finger, too, also to get out a left-handed hitter. That sinking fastball, low 3/4 from Todd Williams.
Looked like a slider there to Mark Quinn.
A slider, and when you get out in front, especially when you come 3/4, the arm drags behind and the slider just doesn't slide as much. It looked like more of a backup pitch at that particular juncture for Williams.
Outside with the slider. 1-1 to Mark Quinn with Jermaine Dye on at third base. One out here in the ninth with the Yankees comfortably up by 5. Outside, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Williams, a guy that virtually was passed over from about every ball club. Pretty good arm, and Seattle let him go. The Yankees saw something in that and picked him up.
Fastball is outside and low. 3-1 now to Mark Quinn. D. Brown has had an impressive day. 1 for 3, but he's hit a couple balls hard. Tap, Williams, and Williams properly goes to first base and throws it away. Quinn will go down to second base. Bobby, we talked about something a couple of years ago, early part of the season. In the 9th inning, when a team's up by more than 1, that if you're a runner on at third base, get the pitcher in the play. Watch the momentary glance, or at least he appeared to be aware of the fact that Dye tried to score. If he comes home, you get the pitcher to thinking about that. Dye never slowed down. Todd going to first base, but he throws the ball away.
No, he definitely took a look at the runner coming home, and he kind of overran the ball. Look where he catches the ball, and then he sees the runner in front of him, and he hurries his throw, and he hung on a little bit too long and pulls Tino off the bag.
It's easier said than done, but you just grab a ball like that, throw it to first base, and forget that there are runners on.
And
well, Joe Torre has made the move, and we will see if it's going to be Mike Stanton or Mariano Rivera. I would assume Rivera. Folks, don't forget to tune in to Fox 5 tomorrow at 9 p.m. for James Cameron's Dark Angel, winner of this year's People's Choice Award for Favorite New Drama Series. Don't miss Dark Angel tomorrow at 9 o'clock right here on Fox 5. This is not a save situation, but Joe Torre taking no chances nonetheless.
Mariano with 36 saves last year continues to move up on the Yankees all-time save list behind Dave Righetti now. Mariano starts the year with 165, but as Tim said, it's not a save situation, but the situation when Mariano comes in is it's almost, well, it's turn out the lights, the party's over.
Fastball strike to D. Brown.
It's amazing a hitter that can go to the plate knowing exactly what the pitcher's going to do to him and still can't produce.
This one hit hard. Soriano throws out D. Brown. There are 2 outs as Quinn moves to third base. It's a 7-3 ball game now. And the pinch hitter will be Raul Ibanez, formerly playing for Lou Pinella's Seattle Mariners.
I have never seen a closer that is so dominating, such as Mariano has been with the Yankees.
Not with one pitch.
Not with one pitch, and it's that little cutter that cuts in on the left-handed hitter. But he's got pinpoint control. He pitches in front most of the time. And he throws that little cutter, and it just saws the bat right off in the left-hander's hand. Of course, it goes away from the right-hander.
The only pitcher that you can really equate with the same type of, even though he's not the same style as Rivera, was Goose Gossage. Goose threw everything hard. Goose never really had an off-speed pitch. It's 1-1 now to Ibanez. But Goose, as far as his motion, the menacing stare, completely opposite from Rivera. Fastball is inside, 2-1 to Ibanez.
Yeah, Goose 98% fastballs, and once in a while he'll throw a breaking ball. But when he did throw a breaking ball, I mean, you couldn't swing, because certainly that would be just something totally out of left field from the Goose. But you're right, the Goose very menacing on the mound, but I don't know. Boy, the more I see Mo, I've never seen a more dominant closer than Rivera.
2-2 to Ibanez. Outside and high, full count.
I was talking to Mo before the season started yesterday, and I was asking him, I said, and I was kidding him, I came up to him and said, Mo, I heard in spring training you were working on a screwball. He laughed, I mean, big old laugh. He said, yeah, tell people that I'm working on a screwball.
Well, breaking lumber, as Bobby said, he often does. Ibanez back for a new business partner.
Like we said, you know the ball's going to be inside with that little cutter from a left-handed hitter. Yet still, you cannot get the barrel of the bat out. It just keeps coming in, and coming in. And he throws it about 90 miles an hour.
It's not so much the speed as the deception. Hitters just cannot start early enough. Look at those last 2 swings, and that'll give you an idea of how Rivera is throwing. Broken bat, and now this hack. Still 3-2 to Ibanez. Kansas City with the worst opening day record of any active ball club. They're 11-21 in their 22-year history. And they are about to go down again to Rivera and the Yankees. Punch foul. Still 3-2 to Raul Ibanez.
Well, Ibanez, right now, he doesn't know what to do. I mean, he's looking in the back of his mind. He's looking for that cutter inside, obviously. And he's swinging at some pitches almost around his eyes just because he sees it out over the plate.
And he walked it. So Ibanez is walked. And that will bring up Luis Alicea, the pinch hitter for Ray Sanchez. So Tony Musher going to his bench. He called on Ibanez. Ibanez walked. And now Luis Alicea, who has been with myriad major league teams. Initially with the St. Louis Cardinals. Signed with the Cardinals off the campus of Florida State. The tying run is on deck, not at the plate. High, ball one. Rivera came in and retired D. Brown on a ground ball to second base. And then he walked Ibanez after a good at bat by Raul. And it's 1-0 here at Alicea. Runner going, tap toward first, and a fair ball. Martinez steps on the bag, and Joe Torre and the Yankees win another opener. Thanks to Bernie Williams and Tino Martinez and Jorge Posada. Roger Clemens wins his 261st game. He strikes out 5, putting him ahead of Walter Johnson for the American League strikeout king, and all in all, a rather nice day for the Yankees here on opening day 2001. Bobby and I will be right back to wrap things up from the stadium right after this. Opening day 2001. Rain was forecast for yesterday, but the skies cleared, the game was played, and Yankees win in typical fashion. Roger Clemens wins his first start of the year, and Mariano Rivera came in to close it as the Yankees win it 7-3. Folks, be sure to join us again on Saturday afternoon when the Toronto Blue Jays come to the stadium to do battle with the New York Yankees. Coverage will start here on Fox 5 at 1 p.m. Also, the premiere of Seinfeld, Jerry and the Boys, will be on tonight at 11 p.m. Marvelous day as Mel Stottlemyre threw out the first pitch. Roger Clemens rubbing the head of Babe Ruth, as he always does. Chuck Knoblauch, his first start in left field. Alfonso Soriano starting at second base. Bernie Williams flashing defensively. And offensively to put the Yankees ahead to stay. For Bobby Mercer, my partner, great job by Mike Santini, his rookie game. See you Saturday, folks.